another edition of Fan Forum on a Thursday night with Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. As you can see, you got myself at the wheel today with the main men as well. We've got Daniel and Rion. How you doing, boys?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, how we doing post World Cup? Are we still on a high? Are we on that inevitable low? How are we feeling? It was a great game. We just spoke about it before it came on. We hadn't spoken. Welcome to another edition of Fan Forum on a Thursday night with Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. As you can see, you got myself at the wheel today with the main men as well. We've got Daniel and Rion. How you doing, boys?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, how we doing post World Cup? Are we still on a high? Are we on that inevitable low? How are we feeling? It was a great game. We just spoke about it before it came on. We hadn't spoken, but how are you guys feeling after the World Cup final?
What final? We just lost in the semi-final to Australia.
I was about to say we've just come off.
Yeah, we can actually talk about that. I don't know about that. I know we just for the rugby. We'll talk about that. We can touch on the cricket later, but let's not let the Protea fire dampen our spirits.
Yeah, no. After the Rugby World Cup, it's been great just basking in the glow of 4 times champs, first ones to do it. I'm going to be honest with you, it's been tough to get into the URC. It just feels like this is beneath us now. We've already won rugby, so but slowly but surely the come down will finish and we'll be back into the club game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, getting back into the URC after the World Cup's been a very, very difficult one because also the games just haven't been that great as well. There's been still a lot of stop starting and low scoring, and but yeah, we'll get into it. We'll obviously get into it, but we'll talk about it. We also got Daniel, the Rugby World Cup as well. I know, as you guys know, as I said, we were going to go out against France. 60 minutes into England game, I thought we were going to be out. I honestly thought the All Blacks had the momentum there in the second half, and I was just waiting for Jordan try to send us out. But yeah, what an incredible run and eventual finale, Dan.
Yeah, I've never been more, to be honest, despite them being the same margin, just three completely different games, right? Like, I think the French one left me in disbelief. I was shocked after that, just not because I didn't think we could win. It was just that type of game where you were on the edge of your seat the entire match. Then I think I went into that depressive mode for the England game for 78 minutes. And Chris, as we live in the UK, knowing what that would have meant for our social interactions around here was just, voice in the back of my head. And then the New Zealand one was just get the job done. And it was also a blur.
You guys still wouldn't have seen me if we lost to Mr. Owen Farrell. I would have been way off the spectrum still. I would still be in recovery mode. So thank God for that from my perspective. But yeah, we'll get into the final a bit later, because obviously there's still murmurings coming out of the final, since what decisions were made and how they were made, and Barnsley straight out of retirement into TV shows and talk shows and giving us his feelings. So we'll touch on that a bit later. But yeah. And obviously Rassie, because he's back, he's still there, and in a bigger capacity. So yeah, we'll touch on all that. But yeah, just to recap for us as Bok supporters, of course, I'm still in shock, because everything that France has bitched about, England have bitched about, New Zealand have bitched about, is I ultimately really believe one of those games will be on the other side of that, and I don't know how on earth we've escaped. We had these lack of the draws, couple World Cups, and now we've had the lack of the refs but calls. Basically, I know I hate the word lack, but it's so opposite. The journeys the last two World Cups have taken. So, but yeah, let's hit on to the URC, and Ron, we're gonna have to throw it out to you. Your boys, your man have finally got it over the line there against Scarlets. I was watching that game. It was actually quite a fun game to watch. They were behind. Yeah, what do you make of it? It was well played to come out there, get that win, well deserved, eh?
As always, South African teams and their scrum, that's what won it for us. We were, I was actually streaming that game, live streaming it, and it just looked like Lions discipline was the issue. We couldn't keep our discipline. We were giving away penalties constantly. We always looked to me like the better side. We just couldn't get our hands on the ball, and we were on the wrong side of the ref the whole night long. But luckily, right at the end, Sanene Nohamba, he's been so good for us in some of these pressure games, just to come up with the plays that are needed. He seems like a nice little
last year, by the way.
Yeah. Nohamba and Marius Lowe as well, in the centers.
Yeah.
The two of them have just brought, when they're on the park together, you feel like, okay, there's always a chance. And then Quan Horn at fullback. I've been keeping an eye on him recently. That man looks incredible. They were putting up bombs on him all night, and he caught everything. He was never caught alone. He was never turned over. He did some counter-attacking. When he kicked well. So it was close. We were fortunate with a little Steph Evans charge down right at the end. But you make your own luck by charging that thing down, working hard, and having a play and support. So it was very nice to have at least two of the South African teams winning, because I don't know about the other teams. The Italians apparently are very good at rugby now, Chris?
I haven't put that on my list either, so we'll leave that maybe for later. We'll see. But yeah, no. Yeah, it was like you said, Dan. I mean, look, the Lions. We know we have a little back and forth and banter, but the Lions are a great team to watch, and they have got a spirit there. If that was the Sharks, I don't know. I don't think you would have backed the Sharks to come back and have won that game, but the Lions gave it everything. And Nohamba at 10. Yeah, I know. I've also joked that slightly. He's a little guy, but he's got a massive heart, and I actually do enjoy him. I enjoy that Lions team, and I was rooting for them to win. So it was good to see from them, right? Hey, Daniel.
Yeah, it feels like there's a bit of fire in them now, which is good, because I think that's what Lions used to provide. They always had heart, and they were exciting to watch, and kind of couldn't really write them off on any day. Obviously gone through a bit of a slump, and I think there's like kind of stardom that's scattered around that team, right? And I feel like there are glimpses of it that you're seeing, and it's just about putting it together, because I think if they can keep fit with the right players on the park, they can be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, Henko van Beek gets a lot of...
I wanted to bring him up. You brought him up. I love him. Yeah.
What a guy. Just when he touches the ball, it's like one of those, just can't wait for him to see it. But yeah, I'm promising, I mean, to get any South African team getting a win away, and as we've seen this last weekend, doesn't matter who the opposition is a good result. So fair play to them for being a part of that group.
Yeah, and actually, now while we stay on the Lions, I bring it back to you. I've always said, like, I love the way the Lions play. They play a brand of rugby that can will win their matches, but there's still maybe two or three really quality players short for me of maybe going all the way. You agree with that, Rion? And like, can the Lions, is it still just going to be bringing through the youngsters and trying to keep them, or being closer maybe to the union? Obviously I am. Do you think? Acquisitions aren't the strategy, right?
Yeah, no, I think they really are a team we keep the cost of salaries as low as we can and try and build a team, just try and keep a group of players together. Our main thing has always been in recent years is not the front row. The front row has always been good, except at hooker. Since Marks has left, we've really struggled at hooker. I'm sure you've seen the stats as well. Our best hooker is like one of the worst line-out throwers in the competition, PJ Buerta. He can carry well. He's a good defender, but if you try and get him to throw anywhere except the front jumper, he's almost at a 30% throwing rate. So our lineouts are a big issue. Yeah, you're not going to launch a lot of attacks with that. And then I've always thought
territory with that type. You're not going to. It just means you can't go for territory.
Yeah, if you kick it out, you have a 50% chance of not getting your ball back, which was what was happening on what is it, Saturday night. We lost so many lineouts again because we couldn't just hit our jumpers. And then our defense it's changing. It seems like on the weekend we were hitting hard and we were double tackling, but last year we were the team that gave up the most meters post contact. Like if we were in defense and a team hit our defenders, we were giving up meters more than any other team in the competition. And you're just not going to, if that's the momentum thing in rugby. If you don't stop someone on the gain line, you're going to struggle every day. So those for me are the two big things. We need to sort out our line out throws and we need to stop teams on the gain line. And that's the gain line stopping was what we were doing against the Scarlets, but we just couldn't capitalize on our lineouts. So for me, those are the two main things. The players are there. You've seen them. Ruan Venter, he looks great. Willem Albert.
I love Ruan Venter. Also, as my friend, we saw he's the standout. Him and for me and Venko, yeah.
Yeah, Kabakanye, the massive prop, he goes for ages.
He's some athlete, that guy.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll become a Bok?
10 kilos less of him would, I think.
Yeah, I think he does need to work. He can also eat his cakes with ox, but I think he does need to get a little bit more athletic there. But he's a great character, I like a guy you want to have on the field, right? And just a quick one, Rion. I'm a big Morne van den Berg fan. So what happens is, Hamburg going to be the answer at 10? How do you see it? Do you think he'll go back to 9? What do you feel will happen there?
The Lions have been playing a 6-2 split. So I think they've been using Nohamba's versatility so that they can only have 2 guys on the bench. So Jordan Hendricks has been riding the pine. I think he plays maybe as a fullback 10 as well. So
I was convinced he went to the Sharks. Or did I misread something?
I thought so as well, but that never happened.
I swear I saw that somewhere that he went to the Sharks. And then they were talking. Yeah, okay, so it didn't happen, right?
It was talking.
Yeah, there was rumors, but he's still there. So I hope that's not a sign that he's maybe not staying for past this season. But I think maybe on the away tour they decided, okay, let's keep him from starting too much. The Lions didn't start the season well, so they were probably like, no, we need a change. Keep him on the bench. We'll bring him on late in the game, and they're running a 6-2 bench. So Nohamba being versatile, he can go to 9, and Jordan can come on, or Nohamba can go off and Van den Berg can stay on. And I think they want Van den Berg there just to keep the game fast. He's a bit quicker to the right.
He's got a wicked pass. I love his pass.
Yeah.
He can also be erratic. I mean, I've seen him do, but I really enjoy him at 9. But he's so good.
Yeah. So I think it's mostly to accommodate the 6-2 bench that they have those 2 guys on the field. Yeah, so that we can bring, because we have our bench this weekend looked very good. We had a good front row coming on. We had Venter coming on. We had Alberts coming on. JC Pretorius, the X7s guy, he's being used now as well. So I think that's what they've been doing. They've been using the pack more. We just need to learn to tackle and stop guys on the gain line.
Yeah. Also, to say welcome to everyone on the chat. Unfortunately, guys, my equipment today is not allowing me to see the comments or anything at the moment. But yeah, guys, if you're there, welcome. Obviously, you're part of the show as well. Give us your comments. Give us your thoughts on your teams, how you feel they're going, or any topics you feel you want us to discuss. And I'm sure we'll get on it. So obviously, welcome to everybody. Let's move on swiftly on to the Sharks. Scotty, what's going on there, son?
Not a lot, clearly.
No, not at all, right?
Yeah, people are saying that all will be well when the internationals return, and on paper, you'd think that's the case, but I don't know if I'm so sure. Even last season they weren't spectacular, and they had the biggest names in rugby, Siya Kolisi and Ebenezer. You're looking at two of the best stars in a Rugby World Cup. Like, the massive players, their front row. I mean, now they have Koch as well as Ox and Bongi. Like, I mean, obviously these people are going to make a difference, but it just doesn't seem to have been clicking.
And Richardson back at 2, and now for me, Richardson's a bloody awesome flanker. I mean, obviously doing the job there, but I find that strange as well.
I wonder if that's a move. Like, I mean, now that he's represented Scotland, he's kind of put himself out of SA contention for the next 4 years. Not that I think he's too close, but there's definitely much more of a shortage in the hooker facilities within South Africa than there are at loose forwards, and historically that is also the case, right? We've produced always the highest kind of creme de la creme of loose trios. So I'm not sure if maybe that's a tactical move by him or just the coaching staff. I think he played actually flank in the first couple of weeks. So moving between the two, he didn't have a bad game. He was one of the people who actually played quite decently. Strong ball carrier.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I think he's great. Yeah.
But just a lot not happening for the Sharks, and you got to salute. What's it, Zebra? First win in 18 months.
Yeah.
I mean, to be in Palma on Friday night.
I hope it will be great. The Italian side will be great to have them strong. And Benetton's got a very nice team now, but it'll be great to have both those sides playing well, full houses when they have home games. But for me, the Sharks has been the back line. I don't think they have a good back line, and there's no fluency there. I don't rate the centers that much. Gets to Cox great, but still feels like he's a sevens player. Fassi hasn't been able to develop. You got Bosch who never kicked on. They got big players to come. I mean, do you think, this is, bad start, they come back home? I've got them coming home and sorting Connacht out on the weekend. But what do you think? It's just a matter of just grinding on, Plumtree getting back into it. What's your thoughts on Sharks at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, this team, how are they ever going to become good if they're constantly changing? Over the last 3 or 4 years, they've bought more than anyone, more players in. They don't have a squad playing together for long periods of time because Eben Etzebeth and Bonambi will play 2 games and then they're off again because they have to go play international rugby, and then they come back for 3 games and then they're off again. The guys behind them play 2 games. If there's an injury, then you're down 2 locks. You're looking for a third choice lock. Then they change coaches as well, which is another big upheaval. So it's just the constant change. I mean, it's all good and well. You have all the money in the world, but they're just not standing still for like 2 years, and let systems just bed in. Make sure you have the same coaches, the same players.
It feels a bit frenetic.
Yeah, it's been constant change and stuff. The guys who have been there constantly are the guys that always seem to shine. Werner Koch. What are the other guys there? Richardson. Not from a bad Fassi. He's one of their better players.
Notches, all right. And what about Cameron Wright? I think he's had a good tour, right? But you've got a lot of scrummies around, but he seems to be a light in the.
Is he better than Nohamba, who they let go?
And they've also brought in Francois Hogarth.
Did they? How did I miss that? Really?
Francois Hogarth is a Sharks player, and he was there because of their 2 scrummies that went to the World Cup, obviously. But
they're coming back though, right? I mean, if Grant Williams comes back, Hendricks, I mean, where these guys are, I mean, these guys are going to surely fall down the pecking order. But what the point is, the thing is, I think Cameron Wright's been there and they're better players on tour. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah. I haven't really checked him a lot. I'm going to be honest. I haven't watched a lot of the Sharks because they've been so dire. But yeah, it just feels like, okay, we are looking at a team here that's got ultra star players, but the Sharks are finding out what the French sides have found out. If you buy Itzebek or one of those guys, they'll play 4 games a season for you because they're constantly away. They're constantly playing for the Springboks, or they're resting or something like that.
They're different players.
Yeah, they are incredible. If they were playing for the Sharks 10 games a season, the Sharks would be top of the table, but they're not. And that's what they're finding out now. The guys below them, and it's not, and even the guys that do well behind them, like Grant Williams and those guys, they become Springboks, and then they down to Cameron Wright and those guys, So I think it's just the constant churn of guys in, out, that's causing a lot of disruption.
Sorry, because I think also if you look at the successful South African franchise teams over the last couple of years, particularly since we've been in the URC, right? 2 Stormers, 1 finals, 1 with a win, 1 runner-up, and then that Bulls team who's also been competitive. They're not littered with Springboks, and obviously that's because a lot of the Springboks, once they're good enough, they kind of go earn their keep in Europe, right? But I think in a lot of ways, the teams that haven't had the maybe bar Lions, but the teams that haven't had too much coming in and out have benefited. Like, I don't think we saw a massive uplift of the Sharks when they had these names that came in, because it really was like they had a massive injection of Springbok players, and we didn't see this upturn. Whereas the Bulls and the Stormers, they had maybe 3 constants in you think Malibok and Kitshoff and Frans Malherbe, for Province, and then for the Bulls you had their back 3, their 2 wingers, maybe Marcel Coetzee and Ulrich Loh was kind of in and out of there, but for the most part these teams are playing with each other, and you feel like they have much more of a brand.
Identity. No, they are.
Exactly. Identity. Whereas with so many big players, and as much as I'm actually not sure who the Sharks captain is, the club captain.
That tells you everything you need to know. But, who is the face of the Sharks?
It can't be easy being the club captain, and then you also have Etzebeth, you have Sia Khaleesi, and you have Bongi. They I'm sure they're not going to try and take up your space, but that at the end of the day, you aren't competing with them on a rugby or leadership level. These types of things are difficult to manage. Whereas the Bulls have Marcel Coetzee, he's a ex-Springbok player and has played. He can control a room much potentially better. So maybe it's also just the leadership and kind of internal player who's playing game week out, who is that person that they look to.
Well, that'll bring us on to the Bulls and Stormers, because we're proud to say, right, obviously the Stormers and Bulls have had very different road trips this time round. And when we were previewing with Stevie before the tournament, I'd mentioned that surely this is the year that the Bulls have to step up under Jake White. I mean, surely he's not going to get another season, but again, I think the consistency and the team, it seemed they've been playing some great rugby, getting the win. So is this they are top of the log? Another win on the weekend. Obviously wasn't overly pretty, but they're getting the job done. So is this the year that the Bulls are going to be the top South African side? Well,
when they get that back 3 back of theirs, they really do have the ability. Their pack is looking great. They've struggled with props for so many years now. With Walker Low back, that's going to make a huge difference for them. It's already been making huge difference, and that's another one of those great signings. It's a guy who's not constantly with the Springboks, but he's just on the cusp. He's so good that he can,
equivalent.
He can win you a URC, but he's not going to be playing 3 games a season because he's got Springbok duties. Nizam Kaur, the back row, Carl Brink. I mean, I love that man. He's still going strong since he's been back in South Africa. Ulrich Loh, and now.
We've got Rudy also asking about Cameron Hanekom. What are your thoughts on him?
He looks very South African, proper Afrikaner. No need for anyone to look into his ancestry or anything like that. Yeah, just another great find. I'm sure everyone will hopefully keep a level head and not be like with Ruiz, he must be a Bok, he must be a Bok, he must be a Bok, and then second season comes and he doesn't really shine as much, you know. So no, he's been great. He's been making so many meters, monster carries all over the place. So perfect for what the Bulls like. They like a back row that's carrying well, offloading, and then just getting in behind the other team, and then the back three can fire.
Yeah, so the thing is, you know, yeah, and we can move on to the Stormers or go quite swiftly past the Stormers. I mean, they're obviously going to get some players back, and it's starting to become quite obvious. I mean, this tournament, like a lot of tournaments, is very, for me, home team orientated. Like touring is difficult. Clearly, we go there and we struggle to tour. Obviously, the Bulls have done a bit better, but Sharks and Stormers have been, and Lions, we haven't had a good tour. But subsequently, when these guys come back, when they come to us, sometimes with, you know, lighter squads. So yeah, I mean, for the Bulls to get these wins, these nice wins under the belt and be top and coming back to Loftus soon, it's going to stand them in good stead, right? And so that's obviously Stormers, after two nice, easy, comfortable home wins, have obviously gone off the boil. But I don't worry about them too much as well when LeBok and Willem Philipsel come back and we're back in Cape Town. It should be all right. But I mean, these guys will.
What did Nas always say? You don't win the URC in February.
In October, or win the Currie Cup in May, or yeah, well, it's going to be interesting because, you know, the Scottish sides are still doing quite well, and obviously the Irish sides. It looks like a bit of a mutt. Even the Welsh. I mean, the Welsh sides haven't been too bad. I mean, they're playing each other. Benetton and Zebra also looking a little bit more competitive this year. Actually, it's quite. As we get into it, I'm sure it's going to be a nice end, you know, tournaments in the overall. So, but yeah, the Stormers. We'll preview the weekend's games. But like I said, I don't know if you guys have comments on it. It's just, you know, I just felt, I don't know. I thought some of the combinations were a bit strange. They didn't seem to have the cohesion. Maybe it's the teams. I don't know what it is. So our teams just seem to struggle here, Daniel.
I think they're also missing a bit of that glue in the players that seem to step up constantly. Obviously, there are the Boks and you know, Money, Damien. I think they missed Savicha Daimani massively. Just someone connecting the backline and the forwards, being that dynamic. The backline they felt static. It felt like it was just Jean-Luc Duplessis trying to make something happen.
He could step up to captaincy role. Has he captained before? Honestly, I can't remember. But he comes across as a guy who could lead.
He's also gone, eh? So I don't know if you'll be able to carry on for that long.
Who, Pollard?
Yeah.
No, he'll be there.
Yeah, I'm convinced he'll be there.
Yes, these Springboks, they don't play club rugby.
He's playing on one of those 4G pitches in England, though. So we'll see.
I hope he has cushions underneath it that protect his knee. But
I just say the Premier League will exist in 4 years' time, so that's also at least.
Hopefully. But yeah, I think. I mean, Sia obviously has now said that, you know, initially he had said that he is in his book that he believes that the Springbok captain should be playing in South Africa. And, you know, all the names mentioned, I guess, bar Lucanio, are, you know, playing overseas. I think Sia will try. I think he'll play maybe another 2 years and take it from there. And I don't think they're going to change the captain now, to be honest. I don't think they'll hand their reins over now, because as long as Sia is playing, I can't see anyone else being there. I think the next best probably Pollard. I do see him making the next World Cup, and potentially it's a bit. It's difficult. We have so many players who are 30 or 31. And
they're at that they could be there, but they could very much not be there, right?
34, 35. It's like, it's fine if a couple of people are 34 but 35, but when 10 of your starting 15 are 34, 35, it's like, well, you know, I don't know if we can play this physical game that we're promising. So it's going to be interesting. It's almost like they're going to be looking at each other. It's like, well, who's going to, you know, hang up the boots first? Who's going to give up the reins? Because otherwise some of us are going to get dropped. You know?
It's going to be interesting, because obviously the firm favorites, you know, who I've argued sometimes are we kind of carrying them? Are they the better players? Like, obviously the guys have said it's not necessarily the better player per se or form. It's the right fits. But some of these guys are getting on. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. And because we've been so stable for 5 years, it's like we said, but barring maybe Moody and Willemse, who's finally broken through as the man, we actually don't really know who the superstar breakout. Lowe's had his 1 or 2 runs. Russ, we don't really have this. Who are the next real generation guys that are going to come through for the Boks the next 4 years, right? So we don't have that standout captain. We'll see what. I always say I trust Rassie because I'm just going to say Jacques now. But it's going to be very fascinating to see how this team evolves.
Yeah, I mean, we have Justin asking who we think the uncapped players are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Who are the standouts newbies coming through? Yeah,
I'm trying to think who the people that thought. Yeah, I mean, but Moody's through, but he's capped now. So I'm trying to think. Anyone come to mind?
Ruan Venter,
Ruan Venter, and Henko van Wyk. But if you think, Van Wyk's got to be a Bok. He's going to be a Bok for sure. Maybe the wing are back division sorted, right? For a while.
Who's replacing our front row? Because those guys are also they're getting old. And
isn't Walker Low still on the younger side?
Yeah, Walker Low, Thomas du Toit will be there. He can't miss another World Cup. Shame. He's been so close on both of them.
Yeah, Walker Lowe's 29. So if he's now, it's the perfect time for him to have come back to South Africa. Because 29 for prop that's when you start hitting your proper propping age. So I think they'll be watching him with a microscope to see, okay, is this our next big guy? Ox, I think, is still good.
Ox will be there.
Jan Bruno, they still want him in as well. So there's a few guys that can keep going. Marks is still young enough as well to make another one. I don't know about Mbonambi. I think he might be on the wrong side of 30 as well. So
Mbonambi's been playing so much rugby. It feels like he is just his body's surely gonna give way. But I know these guys' core strengths are something else. But he just feels like he just I don't know how much he can take. Much more you could take,
Could be Dylan Richardson coming through. I mean, obviously Joseph Dweb is there in years of an age that is suitable. It's obviously just if he can find, a kind of real run of form and turn things around a little bit. I mean, he struggled this weekend again for the Stormers at line-out time. So it's one of those. It's kind of a bit like a kicker when you start missing. People are looking and paying a lot more attention to it, which puts a lot more pressure on you. But yeah, I think another huge one for the next World Cup is going to be Ulrich Lowe. I can see him coming through and having at least 15 caps before the next World Cup type of.
But not at 8, right? More at blindside.
I was going to say, are we going to have a Lowe Russ battle for the next 4 years, or do you think both of them could easily be the starters in 4 years' time at the World Cup?
I think Jasper.
Who else is coming through on the flank?
Jasper's going to be 8, I think. I would bank on Jasper as 8 and the rest maybe as backup.
Is Jasper that young as well?
Jasper's young.
He doesn't look. But I know he isn't as old as. I know. Yeah, you're right. He'll probably do a Dwayne Vermeulen job.
And what about the likes of Atara and Green? Hey, I mean,
maybe
being out for a season, but the season before that was instrumental in
he was
in the Premiership and started incredibly hot. I mean, but try that he scored.
Yeah, but that Harlequins team are Premiership bullies. Like they play so well, and they brought obviously Estesen had to get his chance as the Boks, but Caden Murley I thought probably should have been playing over Johnny May easily, or Arundel should have even. But you see, that kick was Smith to Green. Like that's what you my head. That's what Smith's doing for England, but gets onto the stoop there for Quins, and they just tear it up. Just a bit just looks so different on the eye. These guys in the Prem compared to England, and it's all there, right? It's all the talent, all the ability. And they just don't transfer it. But I totally agree with you, Scott. Tyrone Green, and Murley. I love that. I love that Quins backline. Talking about it,
you're going to struggle to get that 15 jersey off of Damian Willemse, though. I think that man.
He's.
But Green's playing at the wing, no?
He's in the wing, yeah.
He is a
But he's played fullback. But he's played fullback. He did play a lot of fullback as well. Yeah.
And you wouldn't drop Currie or one of those guys for Tyrone.
Yeah, that's true, because I mean, you still got Moody, who, like, if Lucanio's fit, he's going to be playing 13. Now Moody is probably going to be on the wing then.
That's what I was saying. I agree with Rio and Dan. So I agree. I totally agree. Green's premiership form is awesome, but I can't see how he breaks into that back three at the moment. Listen, it's going to be very, very difficult. Because also, I mean, everything has Colby reached 30? He must have reached 30 by now, right?
So his birthday on the day of the final.
All right. Anyway, guys, talking about the final, let's go back to the final, because New Zealand are still enjoying it and want to rehash it. So I don't know if you guys seen over the last week, have you, that basically someone in World Rugby, or it's come out that obviously the team has made a mistake by intervening into the try that was disallowed. Apparently it's a 2-phase threshold, and this was obviously way back. Obviously it was a knock-on, but ultimately there's been an admission of guilt. So they said it's wrong.
There has been whatever. We don't know.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing. I think people haven't said exactly who it is in World Rugby. There's some people denying it in World Rugby. Obviously, New Zealand are throwing it out there and moaning about it. Obviously, so maybe if it was the other way around, will we still be bitching it on the show 3 weeks later that we got hard done by? What are your guys' thoughts? Actually, what are your thoughts on, 2 phases, 4 phases? I suppose the rules again, but if it wasn't allowed, I'm not totally against it. I wouldn't probably be crying if it was called back because it wasn't legal, essentially. And what do you think about what's going on here? Like, and maybe it goes on to, I know Stevie said in his videos, the try that was scored, that looked pretty forward at the hand, is that the South African green glasses on there missing that? But what do you guys think of this whole ref thing that's come out subsequently? Rian?
I think it's just people that are hurt. They lost, First of all, it was World Rugby secretly admitted. So first of all, that's not official. Second of all, it was stuff.co.nz. That's their SA Rugby made. Maybe even worse.
Yeah, okay.
They are a clickbait website. So that's the second part. And then the third part, World Rugby came out and said, we do not talk about refereeing decisions. The refereeing decisions are left on the field. If there's a mistake, we will say something about it. And then the other thing is, yes, that try was disallowed. Yes, it's 2 phases is the rule. So that's wrong. But they scored like 3 minutes later. I mean, it didn't really, for me, make an impact. If they scored that try, we would have kicked off. They would have been back in their half. They wouldn't have then immediately scored that next try. The whole game changes, So for me, it's a storm in a teacup. It's just because, people are hurt that they lost the World Cup. If that thing had stood, this country would have been burning effigies of Wayne Barnes because he didn't catch the knock-on in the mall, So that pass the pass for the try being forward, go look at the try Curtly Orange scored against Australia at Loftus at the beginning of the year. Lucanio Am's last pass is almost exactly the same thing. So we can't be saying, no, that was forward, but Lucanio Am's pass was not forward.
Sure.
It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, exactly.
With you. I would just say, recognize clickbait when it's clickbait. Stuff Magazine have gotten so much traffic this week, so they've made their money. That's all it was about. Make your advertiser money.
Yeah, but Daniel, we've gone about these 50-50s and the head clashes, and was he low? And obviously Khaleesi they put side by side, was Khaleesi's worse than Kane, who got a red card, and Khaleesi got a red. Like, how does Barnes miss counting back to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you got 4 people to validate? How does he miss that? Essentially, if that's the rule, how did he miss it? And was that the conversation he had with Sevilla saying, sorry, I missed that? Was that a separate incident? I'm like, I even totally forgot that we hadn't scored after 33 minutes. I was so engrossed in that final. I honestly couldn't only the next day we didn't score in the second half. Couldn't believe it. But I'm saying that incident, how did he? that's not a hard one. That's earning your money. You got to be accurate there, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I wonder if, because it's relatively new how engaged the TMO is, particularly now where they are handed off some of the bigger decisions and like the spotlight is kind of put on them while the game's been stopped. I wonder if you see it in football with VAR, in that they let the game play out and then they'll come back to it in a sense. So I wonder if there's in a sense where when they're not sure about a call, they're going to let it play out and then go back to it, or whether it's call exactly what you see regardless of what's about to happen on the field. If there is that leniency to 50-50, let's play on, and then going back, you can kind of understand. But the fact of the matter is, I guess the law was was over the count and should be accounted for in that sense.
Because it's foul play, they can go back, right? Foul play, it doesn't.
Yeah,
that's
foul
not.
Play, you can go a bit further.
Yeah.
Knock on.
Yeah.
It is wrong. That was wrong, but they did fix something that was wrong. I mean, there was.
Yeah, well, that's my point. I mean,
yeah.
Did the ref just think it's my job to call this out? He's seen it. It's like they didn't score, and he just felt like morally obliged to say, "Look, Barnsley, look at the knock on," It doesn't feel right for two phases. I don't know what that two phases is a bit. The amount of involvement. I know we've given the involvement, so what's 4 phases to 2 phases? Just get the right call.
The thing is, where do you stop? How many phases do you go back?
The last time the ball was dead. The last time the ball was dead.
Yeah, but what if there's a 3-minute play going on? And there's one little
beep.
knock
There must be a beep. I don't know. We get into the muddy water, the murky waters here. Okay, 2 and 2 is binary, so it's fine. But yeah, you're right. We now get into more human elements. The longer, I guess you're right. The longer it goes on, the more human subjectivity could come into it, right?
I think the law is fine how it is. It's funny because obviously the laws aren't all equal, right? As you say, foul play you can go back for, knock on you can't. Equally are penalized in an open game play, but then some are given more preference to go back to. You don't want to see something that's like gone on like a crazy, I don't know, or something like that was 7 minutes ago. To go back to it just can, I think, seem ridiculous, and people are getting, I think, frustrated with the stop-start nature of it. It might just become a bit like American football, which no one wants. But I think with that said, there's just so much scrutiny, more scrutiny than I feel like there used to be, because of how many more camera angles, how much more access we all have to these games and viewership, that we have the ability to understand and scrutinize, where previously, there weren't that many people speaking about it, and there were only a select few that actually knew the law, that it was 2 phases, right?
Well, I didn't know. I've totally forgot about it. It didn't cross my mind. Did the commentators bring it up at the time? I can't remember. I was so enthralled. I was just hanging on for dear life. I had to rewatch the second half, the whole game. Because I was so uptight, and I missed all of that little details, right? I was just wanted the game to end with us ahead.
There's one common thread is that, and maybe I'm biased, but tend to agree.
You are.
I am biased, but no matter what happened in that game, we were still going to come out on top, because we know how to get it done. So that happened earlier in the game. The game would have been different. You can't just take that as you can't just count the points that were lost, even in a missed kick, something like that, and say, if just like against Ireland, if only we got those kicks over, we would have won. It's not how it works. At the end of the day, people take different rugby as a result of the circumstances that they're in. So if we had conceded that try, then we would have played differently, and the All Blacks would have approached the game differently.
But Daniel, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and this is a conspiracy show. We missed those kicks against Ireland to let New Zealand sort Ireland out in the quarters, so we could beat New Zealand in the final. That's what happened, right?
Oh,
so, don't worry about it. You take my tinfoil hat off, okay? No, but you're right. Absolutely. Then there was another topic, I think it was to do with the World Cup, we wanted to discuss before we actually move on. Do you remember what it was? We said it earlier on the show.
Well, it's Rian, you'll be able to kind of speak a lot about this, but Squidge Rugby coming out with a
Squidge, that's it.
40-minute I don't know if you guys managed to get it within like I think the 12 hours that it was up, but it was like it was music to a Springbok fan's ears. It was a beautiful masterpiece of essentially the broader World Cup, but also the game itself. And after it being online for 12 hours, obviously Squid being an analyst and someone on YouTube that publishes, very, tactically deep content. And for me, at least, has kind of broadened my rugby horizons from an understandings point of view of, how the game works between, just big people running at each other to the nuance that he can identify and I think like spread around. But using clips of the World Cup now being flagged, as a lot of them have been throughout the World Cup, kind of on any social platform, World Rugby saying you haven't actually paid for the rights to be able to broadcast and benefit financially off of these. And subsequently, he's been in talks with World Rugby after they took his video down. Rian, I mean, let's have it broader. First of all,
has it impacted you as well, Rian? Were you when you're looking for content?
I got a strike as well. Yeah. So there's this thing about YouTube, this fair use, that you are allowed to use another party's IP, not for straight reproduction. You're using it to make points or commentate on it, create commentary about it. So obviously you can't show an 80-minute game. That's obvious. We all know that stuff.
Yeah.
You can't even go and just show a 40-minute game. You have to bring something to the clip that you're using, which is definitely what he's doing. He's not using the original audio. He's dubbing over it. It's being cut up a lot. It's being stopped. It's zoomed in, all that kind of stuff. He is obviously using the footage of World Rugby to create commentary and stuff, which is under fair use still legal. My video that they took down, I use, in the beginning of my videos, sometimes I show little highlight clips where I just say a little couple of jokes over it and then Rappi, literally 5 seconds that I dubbed over, they took down. And it's not an AI bot. It was someone from World Rugby personally going and clicking, this video is illegal. 5 seconds dubbed over with text on top is definitely fair use. So that takedown would also not hold up in the court, but you have to go there to the court, which takes months, years sometimes. The same for Switch.
By the time the video is back up, people have lost interest in watching it.
Yeah, right? It's too late anyways. And then you have a strike on your channel, which means you have to go to lessons to say, I know what fair use is. I will never do this again. If you have 3 of those strikes, they delete your channel. All that kind of stuff happens. So
what is the monetization of it? Sorry, Currie.
No. Even if you monetize the video or not, they will take it down because it's their footage. It seems what happened was World Rugby, this World Cup, World Rugby sold the rights for the stuff to like a bunch of countries, obviously to SuperSport or whatever. But there's this one group in France, apparently, that's this channel or whatever that they sold rights to, TF1 or something like that. They have told World Rugby, I don't care where it is, on what platform it is, how long, how it's reproduced. If we see someone else posting our stuff, you take it down. And I think that's what's happened. This French group that own it, they have gone full on no. We're not allowed to show anything. And I don't know if there's nothing has come out of Squidge's video since. It doesn't look like he'll be able to put it back up. Even now that we're months or weeks away from the World Cup. So there's not even any advertising running on anything. You can't show that full thing now and show TV ads because no one's going to watch it. No one's going to buy ad space. So it makes no sense for them to pull it down, but it's still happening. Some of it feels vindictive. It feels like some creators
that was a greed thing. Whoever got those rights was pure greed, right? Feels like.
Yeah. But well, they paid for it. So it's their right. But I know, but fair use. There is a fair use thing. That they are not.
I understand the whole use, but I think what they lack to understand is how people ingest sports nowadays, and you get people interested by creators, Forever Sports, you run your own channels, putting it out there. People catch it on Instagram, then they find out about it on YouTube, and now all of a sudden they're watching a live game, and then you've got a wider viewer base. I think it's the NBA that all creators can create with the any of the kind of match footage, and they're super liberal with how they do that, and it's insane how much growth they've seen just from a conversion from social media. So I think it's also it feels like a clamping down where it's probably some old kind of dinosaur that's been in it for a long time, and he's seeing people popping up and using the rights that he's bought or she's bought to the massive grand finale of rugby, and saying, well, that's not yours, that's mine, not realizing the impact that it can actually have, not just on the game and growing the game, but them financially as well.
But but I've done a little bit of this many years ago, some content deals and stuff. So I don't know the full details of Mega Game Real, and if you do know, but obviously this company have paid over the moon prices for basic exclusivity. And then, because sometimes these guys do deals, and then they can do sublicense the content. So then you go to this company says, okay, we'll own and manage it all, pay for it, monetize. But that monetization would also include sublicenses to say Forever Sports, okay, I want is a package system. Say, okay, you can get 2-minute clips, and then there's an actual company that will actually package that content up, and that's the type of content then you can then use. But it just seems like this one company was like, thank you very much, we'll have it all, everyone bugger off, and that's 20 years ago stuff, right?
That's exactly what happened. It seems like a company went full on, no, it's ours, and they brought out stats to show, oh, look how big our social engagement has been. I saw stats today that said like rugby went up 700% engagement on all the platforms. Our most liked thing on Twitter was 1.9 million likes or whatever. Then someone said, oh, that's nice. Look at this. The Premier League, a midweek game, one of our posts got almost 800 million likes. It's not even in the same stratosphere, because people are allowed in that space. Because they're allowed to use it and grow it and stuff.
You know what this feels like? This feels like nepotism. This feels like someone's buddy is in this company, someone overcharged, someone got a backhander. See you later. It was nothing to do with about you guys and growing this before. This smells like a dirty deal to me. Something's gone.
But I have seen that World Rugby has said from 2025 they are renegotiating all their content and all that kind of stuff. And they will be going. The URC actually is one of the more modern things. The URC allows you to use stuff like that. You can repost, you can make GIFs, you can do memes. They want you to do that. The URC is very liberal with their stuff. And I think World Rugby wants to go into that. And also, their next deal will be like that.
I think my frustration is that they have the rule that you can't just repost it. Obviously, that makes sense. Like if Steve and Forever Sports had a live stream where it was here and we were commentating, yes, you can understand. Then that's an all game. I'm either gonna watch like on ITV or I'm gonna watch it on Forever Sports. But it's not that. It's completely.
It's not what we want to do.
What we're speaking about is for people to engage with after the matter of fact, and they might be now to watch the next game. It's not happening at the same time.
Exactly. This is not how normally I have been in a bit of these deals, and this is not how these content deals are done. There's backup periods. There's ways to do that. Everyone can have a piece of the pie. I've not heard or seen of a deal like this being brokered for a very long time. This was dirty. This was naughty, and it wasn't right.
It's taken a lot away from the World Cup. Like the difference between what you saw this weekend after a couple rounds of URC online and during the World Cup, it's night and day. You see clips everywhere of the URC and of the Premiership from all kinds of people, but you see nothing from the World Cup. It's ridiculous. Hopefully they'll learn their lesson. It'll never happen again.
Yeah. Interesting one. Obviously will affect us as well. The game we in our boys, and obviously want to grow this channel as we get to 500,000 subscribers, and Rion, you take over the space. So yeah, hopefully it gets better for it. Right? I'm sure they will sort it out. There's been too much noise. They will. I'm sure they will. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we've got to an hour. It's been great. We haven't gone into this weekend's fixtures. We won't spend too much time. But I'm thinking, let's go through the South African guys' team's fixtures, and we'll just have a quick prediction. Really, let's just quickly do that and see how they go. We'll just say we got tomorrow night. We got already Bulls away to Edinburgh. Edinburgh not too bad at home, not a bad side. See the Bulls picking up another win on their way home. What do you guys think? What do you think, Rion? Give you the first up.
I saw the team the Bulls named. It looked pretty good. But Edinburgh, they know mugs. They're pretty good themselves. I think the Cardiff that the Bulls beat, it was a close game, and the Welsh sides are not very good these days. So I think this might be an Edinburgh one.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, Scotty.
I don't want to make it sound like a landslide, but I was actually also going to go Edinburgh. I was surprised that you did as well. I think very close though. I think 2 points either way, but I'm also going to go just give the nod to Edinburgh.
Yeah, those two Scottish sides do well against us. It seems like we do. Like I said, we do better against the Welsh sides away. If we do, still get driven close. But Edinburgh, the Scottish sides seem to do well against us at the moment. I'm also Bulls have been good, but I think Edinburgh might sneak this one as well. Sure. And then we got the big boy Lions up against Ulster. Tricky one at Ulster. That's going to be a tricky one. Hey, Rion, how do you think this is going?
Unfortunately, the Irish sides are good, so I don't think the Lions will be in this one. This is going to be a 30.
Not going to go back to back, no.
No. Unfortunately, that little blip with Scarlets would have been just that, a blip, and I think Ulster's going to bring them back down to earth. They're just too experienced, too well coached. So that should be an Ulster win easy.
I agree. Dan?
Yeah, I think also same. I think Ulster by maybe 16.
Cool. Yeah, they're tough one for Lions there to end it off.
And a good win at the weekend as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sharks at home to Connacht. Like I said, I've already given my prediction there. I think the Sharks come home, probably going to make it very difficult for themselves, but I still see them winning. What do you think, Rion?
I saw my Pimpy training this week. He can't be ready to play with a broken cheekbone. I don't know.
The point enters the conversation. Yeah.
I mean, the Sharks last year lost 35-0 to Cardiff at home. So,
jeez. And this was this time of the year as well. Was that this first game back, if I can remember?
And Connacht,
now that you said that, Rion, I've already put this bet out, mate. You can't say this.
I wish I knew what team the Sharks are putting out, if they are getting some of their box back a little earlier, but they've been dire, and Connacht are a good side as well, especially Pentecost and their 9 Blade as well. It's such a cool name. So I'm sorry to say, Chris, I think
all right, that's fine.
I'll be happy to be wrong.
We can't all be on the same page anyway. That's all. We need to have different views, so it's cool. It's cool. I wouldn't on form. Yeah, kind of. Just say, but the bookies, Sharks are 6 points favorites, which is a solid favoritism, but you can't put it past the Sharks to actually faff around again, right? Dan, what do you think? Are you on my side? The Sharks going to come and just show us all that they're the Sharks, or they're going to lay another egg there?
I'm super split, so let me go. I'm going to go for a draw. How about that?
What? No, you can't sit on the fence.
Oh, you can't. It's not sitting on the fence. It's a draw. That's the least likely.
I agree. I'm in a lot of punters groups and stuff, but I get that comment every time I bet on a draw, because I do bet on draws in play. When you can see a scrap fest happening, you get a draw at 20-1. It's a runner. You're allowed to. I agree, Dan. You're allowed to call the draw. I'm just giving you 19 points all.
1 red card to the Sharks, 2 yellows to Connacht by the end of the game. Just an ugly thing.
And a Currie Bosch 50-meter drop goal.
And the Stormers, where it's Munster, get also another tricky one. Also, doesn't seem to matter what type of Munster side put out, they still seem to do the business against our side. So I don't have much hope in the Stormers. I think they just need to get home, get some players back. I think Munster will probably beat them. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Munster. Stormers have never beaten Munster. I don't think it's starting this weekend.
Oh, well, this is a little bit of a grudge match. You know, I love my grudge matches.
Munsters have
we'll see.
the wood over Stormers. So no, the Stormers are losing this one as well.
They just can't get out of third gear. Hey,
yeah,
Stormers just can't get
organized,
rolling.
lacking in the pack. Yeah, and that Munster pack is the big one.
But these are the type of games where I still think. When you look at the teams, it's still my mind, and that's also my bias, my Stormers bias in South Africa. My mind still tells me there's no way Stormers should be losing to Munster. But like you just said, we haven't beaten Munster. But my mind, and because I'm obviously support and betting, so this is the type of game I don't have a comment on it, and I'm not going to bet on it because Stormers could win by 5. But I've been burnt. So I said you guys in the group, predicting South African teams away is the worst. It's just it's very difficult, right, Dan?
I think they took away Stormers' home record, obviously beating them in the final in the URC. I was actually there that game. That was very sad. I think for the Stormers to win, it's going to have to be one of the best days that Ireland have had in the last year. Not a drop of rain, so that the Stormers can actually play a little bit, because they just, I don't know, they can't seem to handle too much. A
cold Friday night in November on the islands. Oaks just disappear. They just disappear.
When you see the Stormers and just the South African teams when they're all rocking up in their long sleeve skins, I'm just like, this. You're not turning it up today.
They don't want to. They want to cook. They don't want to grind.
But I think unfortunately, I think it'll be huge if the Stormers win, because I think momentum with the boost of South African players will be really helpful to them. But I don't think they have to get the win. I think Munster.
And it's to forgive. I tell you, like these Irish, these guys, these Europeans, you could see they step up. They want to beat our teams. Our teams were a little bit off the pace. It doesn't feel like they want to beat it. These guys, even if they got a second team out, you could see there's fire in their belly to put it past our guys. They got a point to prove.
Those guys are the world champions. Yeah,
obviously South African teams, So it just always feels like on a Friday night tomorrow, these teams, I always feel watching it. I see a team that on paper might look better or looks better and should be winning, but I see a whole different attitude from the home side who's giving it a good go, and inevitably the South African Tides, don't win. But this also happened in Super Rugby. I was saying, guys, we've never, South African teams, even the Boks, some European tours, we're terrible. And just whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, boys, I think we come to an end, unless you want to touch on anything else you can think of. But it's been lekker, as always, of course. Love to talk about rugby on a Thursday night. And obviously, we'll know international. Oh, there was actually one thing we've done, but I don't know if you guys saw. They want to bring back Test series of South Africa and New Zealand. Did you see that, Rion? Did you guys see that? I don't know what that meant to the championship, but they wanted.
When it will happen as well, they'll put it in.
Proper tour, 3-match tour with club games,
with midweek games and everything.
That would be cool.
You know what they could do, which could be quite interesting. Imagine they did that for the 2 teams that weren't playing in the British and Irish Lions series that year. I mean,
I thought that gap would have been for, you've got Portugal, Uruguay. Those teams need games. I thought, okay, in those years, let them come play here. Let them go play in New Zealand. Get some game time against the big side.
Portugal versus SAA.
Yeah, something like that, and or Portugal versus all our franchises, and then a test against the Boks right at the end, or something like that, just to give them something. They need to play. But now it feels
I love the touring games, those midweek games. I think they're lekker. I miss them.
I mean, I'd love a South Africa New Zealand tour, but is that like Rugby Championship and then a 3-match tour?
That's what I didn't see. I saw something like it was almost confirmed, but I didn't see what it meant for the championship. Because 2 weeks ago we were talking, we've got to bring Fiji into the championship, or maybe someone else grow the Rugby Championship. But if looks like they're going the other direction, because they have been saying, like we're saying with this, they want to make a global season, global rugby calendar.
It's really sick. It's going to happen,
Yeah, but again, so what's ultimately is going to mean to the fixtures? Like, because obviously we got Ireland coming next year for 3 tests, right? Which there are these 3 test tours north coming down to the south, but I don't know what a shake-up in the calendar is going to mean to 3 test series. Is it going to just be? But I think they want to make these competitions, right? That like 2-year competition. So maybe there's like this home and away thing that's going to happen. So I'm not quite sure what their final plans will be.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know where they'll fit it
but
in.
it's going to be a juicy All Black South African rivalry now for the next while, for sure, with the teams closing the gap now. And, because as I said, like, there was a long time, there was like, New Zealand are always, in my mind, going to beat us. But we went to the World Cup final. We had a very big chance, right? We win it, we win. So I think the games are going to be very spicy, especially after how that World Cup win. I think it's going to get interesting. But boys, thank you so much, lads. It's been a pleasure as usual. Hope you've had a good week and have a good weekend. And everyone on the show, thank you for joining and listening and getting involved. And have a good one. Hope your team wins, who you support. If you follow in the bets, make some money. And we'll see you guys all soon or next week. Have a good one. Cheers.
Bye.
Right, hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is a Friday night, and as such, we are gearing up for the next round of the United Rugby Championship. Lions versus Ulster. That is what we're watching tonight. It is welcome to the show. My name is Stevie P, and I'll be with you guys for the next 2 hours, taking you through the Ulster versus Lions clash. And interesting game here for the Lions, who got their first victory of the season last weekend. A very impressive win over the Scarlets there. And as such, not too many changes to the team, but they are playing a whole different kettle of fish. They face a whole different kettle of fish today in the likes of Ulster, who are a good side, great side, in fact, and a very strong Ulster side being named tonight. So before we go to the teams, please just smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. I want to know where you guys are watching from, who you are supporting, and what you reckon is going to happen in this game. I just really want to see the Lions give themselves a bit of a good account. I want to see Amsterdam Humber cooks once again at Flower Harbour. It's going to be a lot of fun. He has been given an opportunity on the back of a man of the match performance at 10, and he's given an opportunity. So look at the team, shall we? We'll start with the home side, rather, which is Ulster. In the front row, Andrew Warwick, Rob Herring, and Scott Wilson. And O'Connor and Ian Henderson in that second row. Ian Henderson will captain the side. The loose shield will be David Ayers, Ruben Crothers, and David McCann. Nathan Doak, Jake Flannery are the 2 halfback pairing. Jacob Stockdale, Stuart McCloskey, James Hume, Rob Ballycoon, Stuart Moore completing that back line. Off the bench, it will be John Andrew, Eric O'Sullivan, Martin Moore, Harry Sheridan, Lawton McLaren, John Cooney, Billy Bird, and Mike Lowry. For the Lions in the front row, corner 3, PJ Boerten, Asanate, and Hlabakanye. In the second row, it will be Ruben Schoeman and Willem Alberts, Hanu Sergil, Emmanuel Stuka, and Franco Horn completing that pack. Morning van den Berg will partner Sneijder Humber in the halfback pairing. Edwin van der Merwe, Richard Creel, your 2 wings. Marius Lowe captaining the side in the number 12 jumper next to Henko van Beek. Kieran Horn at full back. Off the bench, it will be Jakob Asaki, JP Smith, Ruan Dalpert, JC Pretorius, Ruan Venter, Jordan Hendrickson, as well as Rabs Makwana. Good side, exciting side. Andrew Pirardi, the Italian 31-year-old, will be in charge tonight at the Kingspan Stadium. And I rate him. I think he's pretty decent. He'll be assisted by Frank Murphy and Patrick Riley. Matteo Liperini will be the TMO. I'm just going to go pop a window, get the fan going very quickly because it's blooming hot in here. So don't go away. And in the meantime, go and vote on the poll. Let me know who you think is going to win the clash tonight, as well as your score predictions. Let me know what you think is going to happen. All right, got my fan going, so life is a little bit better because it is very warm over here in Johannesburg. So let's get some score predictions, and shall we? Let me know what you think is going to happen. I've got 39 votes on our poll. If you can get that past 100 votes, we are just a minute away from kickoff. Having a look at the two sides, Lions will be playing in red, also playing in white. A decent crowd in the looks of it at the Kingspan Stadium. Bit of Friday night rugby. At the same time, by the way, Edinburgh are taking on Bulls. That is live as well, as Ruben Schoeman comes out for his 50th appearance for the Lions. Rocking the stash, myself and Ruben Schoeman. Yeah, we go, you see. There come the Lions, in fact, playing in their black kit, not the red kit. And so Humber coming out in the number 10 jersey. Very keen to see how we win. I mean, man, the match last week. You can't argue the results, can you? Waiting for the home start to come out. And then we can get underway. I mean, jeepers, if the Lions get us a victory here, we absolutely buzzing. Yeah, they do come out. Ian Henderson, that's it. I mean, they're playing in all white. I don't understand why we can't be in our red kit, but anyway, we are in our away kit. I mean, we are away, but still, not necessarily need to be in our away kit from a kind of clashing point of view. But I suppose from a contrast point of view, it doesn't get much more than black and then white. Kieran Treadwell posing for photos with the two mascots he's walked out with, and then we will hopefully have kickoff. I'm interested to see who is playing which side here. Right, some of the players to watch from Lions perspective, the likes of a Henko and Vake. Everyone depends when he comes on. Humber at 10 is obviously a good one. Willem Alberts gets his first start of the day, the number 4 jersey. Asnat and Clever Kanye, what a player he is. Very, very exciting. Then future Springbok there. For us, your big Island Stars, your Rob Herrings, your Ian Hendersons, your Stuart Bukowski. Rob Balaku's a good player to watch. Watch out, that's for Nathan Doak, who I'm a big fan of as well. Looks like Ulster will be receiving kickoff. And Lions will be playing left to right, or right to left, really, from the traditional sort of east stand where the change rooms usually are. Camera crew on the opposite side, though. And we do have kickoff, and Kieran Horn gets us underway, going pretty deep down the left-hand side. An early touch and clearance for, I think it's Flannery there, which is a decent touch. So it'll be an early line check for the Lions. Just side the 22, not a bad start there from Kieran Horn. Decent kickoff. Right, we've got a 5-man line out. Yeah, 6-man line, in fact. They go to the front. It's Franco Horney goes up and comes away, and the ball pops up. It's not a great ball, but it's well taken by Marius Lowe, who gains a few yards. Outside 22. Turnover ball, though. And Radicu goes to the boot. And a pretty poor touch for Arne, especially because it was taken back, and therefore it's actually a line up inside the 22 for the line. So a scrappy first carry. It actually ended up pretty nicely in that we've actually managed to get a line out inside the 22. So we'll take that. Yeah, Higgins saying, Ulsterman living in Cheshire, New England, Northwest England. Fancy Ulster to take this tonight. Yeah, I think they should, really, on paper. But what happens on paper and what happens in reality are always two different things. If the Lions start well, then who knows? Maybe they can give a bit of a go here. Good line out there. Once again, going to Franco Horn at the front of the line. That's Nathan Clever Kanye. Looking for that ball. Interesting enough, he's controlling things at the back. Solid work here being done by them all. A little bit lateral, but edging forward are the Lions. Can try and sort of splinter down the left-hand side. It'll be interesting. Morning Vandenberg coming, looking for that ball as well. It goes back to you, and Clever Kanye, who carries very strongly, does the big tight head. Needs to try and turn, though. Ball is available if Morning Vandenberg lines 5 meters out. First carry there think it's from Hanu Sergio. It's a nice carry as well. Ball away off Morne van den Berg. What about the blindside? Goes to Willem Alberts, the bone collector. Morne van den Berg pops it up to Manuel Chuka. This is very good. Go for a ball here from the Lions. Now Cornet Ferry. Driven backwards. Good tackle on him. Morne van den Berg sees a half a gap. Pops it up to Edward van den Berg. Well, I think it's I think of it. Vake actually come looking for work. The outside centre. And left behind by Morne van den Berg on the ground. It'll be a knock on. That's annoying. Really good momentum there from the Lions. Good first start. And then a mistake there from Morne van den Berg. All right, first game of the day should be interesting. I really back the Lions to actually have a bit of a go here. I think they've got a very heavy pack. Very good front row. I think Asnat and Clavicani is quality scrummager. So very, very interested to see how he goes today. Pretty solid. Bit of a second shove coming from the Lions. Good pressure. They go down the left hand, the right hand side rather. And it's hammered up the middle of the park. Edel van der Merwe and Kieran Horn. Kieran Horn on the bounce. Wants to run himself as Kieran Horn. Slightly off there, but Edel van der Merwe makes his way there. A couple of forwards get back as well. PJ Buerta slips one tackle. Lions all the way back on the halfway line there. Morne van den Berg, I think you're looking to go to the boot here. Does go to the boot. Lifts it high in the air, down that right-hand side, up against the touchline. Very well taken, but Spilt, in fact, turnover ball here, comes away to Franco Horn. Franco Horn working hard in the contact. There's a knock-on advantage here for the Lions. Ball spills. Morne van den Berg under a bit of pressure. Throws it out, goes through the hands of Skuman. Eventually goes to Kieran Horn. He sees a bit of space on that left-hand side. Just pops it over top into the 22. Rob Batakoon on the turn. Pops it up. Good pressure being exerted. And so Humber reckons that's carried back. So once again, there's another big mistake from Ulster. There you can see another line inside the 22. Can the Lions just make this count, please? Big opportunity at the line. I need to try and start making this counter. A bit of break and play, so I can have a bit of a chat in amongst the lads. Come on, chaps. Lion rewarded in a very good place inside 22. Yeah, early try. So far, the momentum has been with the Lions. The question is, though, can we actually make it count? The boot change for one of the Ulster players here. On the 4G pitch. Right, upstairs there. Ulster 35, Lions 17. I'd like to see the Lions at least get a try and get a bonus point. That would be ideal. Come on, big lads. Big opportunity. Yeah, big opportunity. Early try. Put the pressure on the home side. Make them panic a little bit. That's what we'd like to see. Still back in play, yeah. There we go. I think it's Andrew Warwick. He need to get his boots just changed there. Another good line. I think that's actually Hanu Sergio of all players going up in the front. Interesting option. There's Willem Alberts, in fact. As I said, it looked a bit strange for Hanu Sergio to be going up. Working hard in the maw here is PJ Boerter. Once the call, needs to try and get that out here as Morne van den Berg. Doesn't manage to get it out. Decides to go on the left-hand side. The wheel himself. Slips one tackle. He's just short here. Good little snipe there. Chituka comes and he pops it up to Asnati and Clavicanye. Makes the ball available. Emmanuel Chituka. He wants to go pick up and go. He does pick up and go. Strong carry from the number 7. Corner for Reed. And that's stolen on the ground. That's really annoying. That's very, very poor. It must be there for ball retention. The Lions not making use of the momentum at all. Nathan Doak with the clearance. So good early pressure here from the Lions. A good win on the ground there from Scott Wilson. Not entirely convinced he released it, but good work from the tight head. Right, another Lions line out. Matthew Dixon saying Ulster 35, Lions 8. I hope it's a bit of a better showing than that. And they do steal the line out, do the Lions. But falls back on the Lions side. Corner for Reed dives on it. It is a knock-on advantage here for the Lions. Good carry there from Hanu Sergio. I think that's Marius Lowe. Corner for Reed now. Back down the left-hand side, do they go? Chituka goes to Zanena Humber. He just dabs it ahead. Right up against the touchline. Very, very nice kick from Zanena Humber. Putting a bit of pressure on Balakuni, which is hoping that would just trickle out, which it did eventually. Yeah, it was a really good kick, actually. It almost did not to go out, and there were 4 Lions players converging on Rob Gallicune, so nice option here for Snare Nahamba, pinning Ulster back, who've just had no real ascendancy in the game. Been camped out in their own 22. So good early pressure from the Lions. It's a good line out. And skew, I think. So I think it'll be a scrum here for the Lions. And given how that first scrum went, that's be a really big attacking opportunity. Yeah, it is a scrum for the Lions. Right, so first throw for Robert Herring, going in skew. Lions scrum inside the 22 on the left-hand side. Full right of the field to work with. Ivan van Rooyen watching on. There's a very enthusiastic Ulster fan. Gets in front of him in the camera. Gets his time in the sun. Right, options here for Lions. Left and right. They've got a little space on the left-hand side. And Edward van der Merwe, the lethal finisher. First things first. Let's get that ascendancy. Oh, there it is. There's the big scrum. So kind of shove comes from Ulster. Penalty advantage here for the Lions. Morne van den Berg goes down the left-hand side. Edward van der Merwe. He will get back himself. Makes a few yards as Edward van der Merwe. Ball back towards Willem Alberts. Big hit on him. Quick boy. Morne van den Berg goes to corner 3. He's carried well so far. Now it's Nana Humber, of all players, carrying the ball up. Now Ruben Skuman hit hard in the tackle. I think it's Andrew Warwick who's driven him back there. Morne van den Berg go to Asnati and Clavicanye. Nice big physicality being shown here. Pretty sure the Lions had a penalty advantage early on. So I'm not entirely sure where that's gone. He clearly pointed back. He must have been pointing at the line then from all sides. So I'm very confused about that one. Very clearly had his arm out at the scrum. Very solid scrum though. I don't think the Lions will actually mind this, to be fair. I think it definitely seemed to have the ascendancy there. And then just dislodging that ball on the ground. was the man over. So yeah, the Lions is guilty of not looking after possession particularly well. Willem Albert's down, but it seems to be okay. What an absolute legend Willem Alberts is. I mean, he must be close to the oldest player in the tournament. He's 39 years old, by the way. Will turn 40 in May. Still getting across over the varnish line. Still doing that physicality. This isn't particularly good, but then getting strapped up here is, I think that's David McCann being strapped up on the chest. Never really seen that before. Come on, lads. Big scrum here. Big scrum. Basically, I think we're starting to see the cohesive effect taking place. Lions are way better than the team 2 years ago. Yeah, I think they've really benefited from a longer preseason as well. Well, I hope so anyway. I mean, that's the one thing that they would have had, is that they would have had no disruption to their preseason, no players coming and going. So they've been together now for the last 2 months. So hopefully there is a certain amount of understanding. Playing nice so far the first 10 minutes. That's a nice big scrum as well. Going to put pressure on Nathan Doak. Stuart McCloskey gets first carry and he's brought down. Inside 22 here, Ulster there on the right-hand side. Now Nathan Doak goes to the boot. Looking for distance. Doesn't find touch. Edwin van der Merwe. He's off on a bit of a run. Edwin van der Merwe's found a bit of space. Edwin van der Merwe! Into the 22 he goes. Advantage there from the referee. Ronald Sergil's working really hard. 5 minutes outside the Lions. And Klubber Kanye. Back to Snell in the hammer. Snell in the hammer goes to the cross kick. He's got the distance. Oh my goodness. Richard Creel goes over. Snell in the hammer once again pulling the strings. Penalty advantage. 2 Ulster players that come out quickly. That is absolutely inch perfect from Snell in the hammer. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What a run there from Edwin van der Merwe. In fact, I think if he doesn't lose his footing, I think he could have actually gone all the way here. Then with the penalty advantage here for offside. Shot okay for Asnate Klabakanye. Then the Hammer was calling for it. Richard Creel was absolutely hugging that touchline. You see a couple of Ulster players came in early. 2 players trying to get across there. I mean, it is absolutely inch perfect into Richard Creel's hands. He didn't have to move. Sanele Nahamba is cooking out here. What a player. Looking pretty good. And that's a brilliant conversion. I'll tell you what. That is absolutely sensational from Snena Hamba. I mean, how do you put him back at 9 now after this? What a try. Try, assist, and a conversion to his name so far. Man of the match performance last week for Nahamba on his first game in the number 10 jersey. And his second game in the number 10 jersey. He's gotten another try assist, as well as a conversion. And a very good conversion as well at that. Deep restart. Right, this first time, literally the first time the ball has been inside the Lions half. And it's a pretty good carry from Henry Sergil. I think the ball is still inside. I'm trying to work it out. Yeah, I think it is still inside. Rain starting to come down, by the way, so wet conditions. Mooi van den Berg goes to the boot. Yeah, and ball must have been inside because he has gone fine touch, and it's just short of the 10-meter line. Much better clearance than we've seen from Ulster a couple of times. So really, really good work. Solid work being done here by the Lions. Question is, how long can we keep this up? It's a good take there from Hondu Sergio and a nice carry as well. Slightly upright in the tackle there, I think it was Ian Henderson. Don't think it was head-on-head contact, so I think he's gotten away with that. But it could have almost been a bit of a problem. Yeah, Sergio is getting a bit of treatment after that collision. I think we might have a look here, will the referee? Yeah, I thought he was a bit upright in the tackle there, is Ian Henderson. I think he's going to have a look here at Piatti. Let's see if we can actually hear this. Yeah, I think he gets away with this with Henderson. He is very upright in the tackle, but I don't think there's head-on-head contact. Yeah, no, okay, contact, okay, that's what I said. I said he was upright in the tackle, but I don't think it was head-on-head contact. Worth having a look. Both players are down. It says there's no clear head-on-head contact, although Ian Henderson is being treated for a cut on his head, which would indicate there was head contact, but nothing too serious. I think is the main thing. Rugby collision, and we're going to go back to the line-out. Rob Herring has been stolen by Ruben Schoolman. Brilliant work there from the lock. Edel van der Merwe gets away from one, gets away from two. He's eventually brought down. He's a slippy customer, is Edel van der Merwe. But a really good start this from the Lions. Nice lineup being one. Still inside our own half though. I think we'll probably look for territory here, would be my guess. Yeah, looks like a couple of blockers coming here from Morne van der Berg. And that's a good kick. It's a nice high competitive kick there. Van der Merwe trying to get through. Rob Bradley's a brilliant take. Good tackle there from Honu Sergio. Ulster now on the halfway line, going down the left-hand side. Rob Herring making the carry. Now options. They're looking around a long pass out wide. Scramble defense needed from the Lions. He comes across from Henkin van Beek. Good tackle from the outside centre. Richard Creel's got his hands through there. And turnover ball, yes. And then Nahamba comes away with it. Fires out towards Currie. Currie Horn's got options to his left. He wants to go to the boot. Goes to his left boot down the middle of the park. And it will bounce. Into the 22 it goes. So time here for Stuart Moore. To find a good clearance. Got left boot in him. Keeps that pretty low. Goes to Nahamba. He'll take it quickly to himself. Nahamba just chips it down the right-hand side. Not too many options for the fly half. Right, Stuart Moore, what's he going to do? He sees space down that left-hand side. Currie Horn gets there very, very well. He sees space on the left-hand side himself. A bit of a ping-pong battle here between the two teams. Ball goes back inside to Flannery. Now, chip and chase on Nathan Doak. It looks pretty good. It's going to bounce up there. It does bounce up to the scrum half. He gets the offload away, but it's been left behind. Knock on from the Lions. Not a knockdown, knock on. And they can't believe it. James Hume reckons it could be a deliberate knock on. Piatti says, no, genuine attempt, yeah. Just as well, whoever made the knock on, whoever tried to get involved there, that could have been a sure try if the intervention didn't come. Right, Superclass getting a bit of treatment here. I'm flying through the water because it is hot over here. You can see the overlap here, and Henk van Beek getting across. He's such a good defender, such a good cover defender as well. Good work there from Richard Creel. Getting his hands onto that ball, bringing it back. Right, we're going to resume with a scrum here. Rain's coming down in Belfast. Not gonna dampen the spurs of the two young fans over there. Important game for them. I think if the Lions win this, it's been a very good tour. Back at the park next week against, I think it's the Dragons. So a very winnable game. Should be a very winnable game. Zebra followed by Dragons. So they win this game. They've got two easy games coming up. Arguably the two easiest games they'll play during the season. So if they win this game, for example, go up to 12 points, they'll keep themselves around that sort of 7 or 8, depending on what happens with Munster and Edinburgh. And then they win the next two, they can find themselves on about 20-odd points, which be interesting to see how much they got last season. So it can't be much more than that. I think about 30-odd, to be fair. Good breakdown from Miles down the left-hand side, though. Into the 22 they go. Nathan Doak goes back on the inside. Strong carry there from, I think it's Andrew Warwick. Oh, and Spilt, and the rain. Pop up to Franco Horn now. Marius Lowe sees half a gap. Chips over the top for Marius Lowe. It's crossed to Edel van der Merwe. Edel van der Merwe goes to the boot. It goes up, but it was a knock-on earlier, so I think they'll go back for the knock-on. No, they won't. They'll go out for the line-out. Love to have a look. It's a great covering tackle there. I think it was by Morne van den Berg. I want to see if we can try and see the log from last year. Yeah, we can indeed. We can indeed. So let's see. How many points did the Lions get last season? They just missed out on that top 8. They got 45 points. So they win the next across 80 matches, winning 9 games. So they win the next 3. They would have won 4 games, which is almost half what they did last week, and they won 20-odd points. So apparently you need about 50 points to get to that top 8. That's what we're looking at. So you get 3 bonus point wins, and they could suddenly be sitting on 23. That ball popped out. It was a penalty advantage. I think that's the first penalty of the day, in fact. Coming in the 18th minute. That's bizarre. I think it's an offside penalty. No, not rolling. He bought that a little bit as Nathan Doak. Silly from Willem Albers, though. Going to go for the corner here, though. Ulster. Coming up towards the halfway stage of the first half. It's a good sack though from the Lions as Ulster on the 5-meter line. Balls out, and pressure on Nathan Doak here. It's going to return over ball. It is available. Pops it up. Big tackle coming from Chatuka and Kabakanye, bringing down Dave Ewers. Discipline needed now from the Lions. Carry here from Ruben Crothers. Now the youngster David McCann. Good continuity here from Ulster. First real opportunity. That's a big hit though. Good defense in the Lions. Come on, chaps. Just need to keep an eye on Rob Herring now. Nice and tight here, boys. Nice and tight. Looking to try and hold him up. Then should be told to leave him. Nathan Doak goes to his captain. Ian Henderson. Was a bit of a fumble there from Nathan Doak. James Hume gets past a few. They're trying to drag him out. Right against touchline. Back down the inside. Solid defense so far. Ulster going through all the phases at the moment. Must be about 10 phases already. Tell you what, there's a bit of a gap there Nathan Doak, I reckon, could have tried to go. Solid defense here from the Lions. Ulster going very lateral, not getting too much go forward. And the ball's come loose. And Rob Herring, I think, left it behind. And the ball's coming, getting kicked through. Surely must have been a knock on there. Surely, Mr. Ref. Play on at the moment, Nathan Doak. So Ulster have lost 5 meters, but I reckon there must have been a knock on there. They lost all the momentum, now being driven back. Good work there. Ball pops up to Rob Herring. Rob Herring goes himself. They had numbers down the right-hand side there at Ulster. Chose not to use them. Oh, he's almost through. He's almost through. Down the left-hand side, McCloskey. Good tackle on him. Driven back. Nathan Doak. Gets through the tackle there to Scott Wilson. Good hands. And oh, jeepers. One more pass and surely it's done. Nathan Doak goes himself. Oh, he's lost it forward. He's lost it forward. And Moya Bird comes away with it. And the hands, the Hudson, and the Humber. He kicks it forward. He kicks it in. Who's going to have the pace here? He's after it. Here comes, I think that's Marius Lowe. All the way back is Stuart McCloskey. He's bought himself time. They're all the way back in the 22. Nathan Doak, he holds on to that, and I think he goes in, you know. Now all the way back. Pops it up to Crothers. All the way back in their 22. Brilliant defense that from the Lions. And eventually the clearance counts, but it's up towards the 10-meter line. Such an important turnover there. Right, 22 minutes here, 7-0. Good momentum here, lads. Just keep this up. Let's just keep this up. And that's not skew. Free. That's actually a free kick, in fact. That's frustrating. Rian says, do you think the Lions could win this match? Well, why not? Why not? If you keep playing like this, we could. Options here. Are you surprised they take the scrum? Not too many other options, really, so they kind of have to on the halfway line. So, I mean, they could tap and go, I suppose. I think, yeah, just guilty of joining the line out there. Right, so they have taken the scrum. You have Ulster. Yeah, on the right-hand side, Stuart McCloskey pops out. The ball's been left behind. Has been kicked through by Henko and Fake. Come on, Henko. Has he got the pace? He's got the pace over. Come on. Henko van Beek. 2 tries. 2 weeks. The man is back. The man is back. Back from injury, I tell you what. No shortage of pace there. He has kept up. And in fact, almost out-sprinted. That's horrible. Fanny with the mistake. Marius Lowe. Oh, that could be knocked on, though. Yeah, it could be knocked on by Marius Lowe. We're going to have to go back and have a check at this. Yeah, no try. Knocked on for Marius Lowe. Oh, that's frustrating. Ah, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. That would have been a big moment. score a try there, and the momentum will be firmly with the Lions. Right, everyone says if the Lions can win this, could be a massive boost for the URC journey. Henk van Beek is the next box center. Yeah, I think he's a matter of time, isn't it, before he gets that call up. Uses the call to go to the left-hand side. Yeah, do Ulster. McCluskey brought down by Henk van Beek. Speak of the man. Back on the inside. Ulster back with ball in hand, yeah. Scott Wilson's found a bit of gap. He's no way he's going to go all the way through. Cheap as he can. The entire field is open up for Scott Wilson. Nathan Doak, ball over the top to Rob Ballycoon. Gets away from one. Still goes Rob Ballycoon. He's eventually carry him over. Driven back. Desperate defensive for the Lions. I kind of feel this is a matter of time. Yeah, penalty advantage here as well. Desperate defense here from the away side. Now there goes the cross kick, and there's so much space. But it's a horrible cross kick, and it goes to Henk van Beek. We'll go back for the penalty. Horrible defense. Horrible. Alright, decision time. They've gone for the line out here. Big defense here so far from the Lions. Hanging on to this. Not sure how much longer they can hang on for it, but hey, let's see. Yep, they pop it out. And Stew. Thank you very much. Free kick. Same thing that we've just seen from the Lions. So consistency there from the ref. Free kick from the Lions. And I think this will be tapped and hammered downfield. Give this to Kieran Horn actually. Just put it as far down the field as possible. Now, do you find touch? It will be Ulster ball. But not inside the 22, which is the main thing. So Lions really doing well to hold on, yeah. Ulster coach stop all on their feet. Right, Rob having a ball in hand. It seems to be really bucketing down. A conversation happened between the two locks about what's going on in the lineouts. And Ruben Schoolman goes up and comes down, trying to interfere with that line. It's a good more set so far here from Ulster. Getting a bit of a run on the lines. Now it stops. There's the call for once. Ruben Schoolman's gone through. Nathan Doak does use it. And hammers up quickly. Stu McCluskey, though, it's a strong carry from him. Ulster going into the 22. Ian Henderson. Driven back by Manuel Chuka. Very good tackle from him. Just outside 22. Now the right-hand side. Flannery now going himself. Going through the phase here, Ulster. Patient defense needed. Spelled about the space down the left and right hand side, and Hume gets away from one. Hume gets, and the ball comes away. Edel van der Merwe brings him down just short. 5 minutes out here, Ulster. Lions back to desperate defense on the try line here. So far, they've been pretty good, though. Franco Hall trying to get over that ball. Now Scott Wilson. Fantastic physicality shown there. Ruben Schoeman, I think Willem Albert's there. The two locks combining. Ian Henderson not making too much headway. Solid work here. McCloskey, inside ball, good handling, and James Hume goes over. Matter of bloody time, wasn't it? Slipping tackles, it was coming. It's been coming. You can't defend on your 5 meter for 13 minutes. It's been coming for a while. That should level the scores there for Ulster. Damn, that's frustrating. Good evening, Richard. Hope you're well. What are your thoughts on the Proteas World Cup? Yeah, heartbreaking. I'm very upset. Must admit. Yeah, just to play it so well for the entire tournament and then to go out on a bit of a whimper was a bit frustrating. Nathan Doak with the kicking duties tonight. It'd be nice if you missed this and go to the half an hour mark here. This to level the scores at the half an hour point of the first half. Pretty straightforward opportunity for him, really. And he makes no mistake. Right, 7 apiece after half an hour. Yeah, just sucking in that one defender there did Stuart McCloskey. It was good work from him. Before James Hume went over. It's taking their time to get back to the halfway line. When they've been inside, when they've had ball in hand, they look quite good. Just need to go back to playing in the right areas, which they've done so well so far in the half. They've been playing a lot of the half inside Ulster territory. Need to kind of go back to that. Back down the left-hand side goes Currie Horn. Good chase. And not a bad clearance, not the best clearance from Nathan Doak, just about 10 metres past the 22. CK Gaming say, Bavuma Eo cost the Proteas a spot in the final. He was injured and still didn't want to sit out. No. That's a pretty simplistic way of looking at it. His injury had nothing to do with his batting performance yesterday. There's absolutely zero guarantee that Reza Hendricks plays and we go into the final, unfortunately. I wish it was that simple. Just not the case. The entire top four failed. The top four each contribute another 10 runs each, and I reckon we win that game. Inside ball. Edward van der Merwe always getting through. Almost a preset move there from the Lions. Now PJ Buerta into the 22. They go. Good momentum now. And Manuel Tutuka just sticking out their hand. Really wasn't expecting that at all. Turnover ball here for Ulster. And Freddie wants to go down the middle of the park. Currie Horn is back. Options here for Currie Horn. Lifts high in the air for himself to chase. Got better Currie will be pretty much unopposed here. Currie Horn does get there, grabs his foot. Nathan Doak looking for options. On the right hand side, just short of the 10-meter line, is Andrew Warwick, who's brought down. Rob Herring. Good tackle on him from Ruben Schoeman. Getting through a lot of work so far is the Lions lock. Chip over the top. That's pretty good to chip as well. Has been left behind, though, thankfully, from Jacob Stockdale. If he holds onto that, I think he goes all the way. So there's definitely a lot of knock-ons here being forced from the conditions. It's very wet out there, and I think we're starting to see that. Nice little chip ahead is the right option. Henry Sturgill was the man. He should have probably taken that, should have Stockdale, really. I mean, yes, it is wet, but just can't gather. So we got Lions scrum. Emmanuel Tutuka looking a bit tired. Alright, so scrum on the far right hand side here, just shy of the 10-meter line. Past the halfway line for the Lions. Will the Lions feed full width of the left hand side to work with. So Time for a nice cool little set move or something. This could be it. Right, Nahamba goes to Henko van Beek. Henko van Beek. Henko van Beek goes through. Go, Henko! He's still going as Henko van Beek. Must have beaten at least 3 or 4 defenders. They enter the 22. He goes. Morty van den Berg goes on a snipe by himself. He makes a few yards. Tackles the call. They've got to release him, yeah. Knee quick ball. Marius Lowe. Asante Klabakanya. He wants some support. Pops it up to Willem Alberts. Willem Alberts makes a yard or 2. Pick up and go there from Cornet Ferry. He makes a yard or 2. Back on the doorstep here are the Lions. Emmanuel Strucker this time. Very good ball carrying. And they're making a meter or 2 every single time. Just short here. You need to recycle that. They go for the line. It's available. And they score. Thank you very much. It's Hanu Surge. I think that'll be his first URC try. There we go. The man from the Greek quiz. Always got impact on the scrum cap. That's a big impact on the game. Lions with their second. One says, wait, sorry, we'll never read his way better cricketer in every aspect than Buruma. If he is a better cricketer, then explain to me why he averages less with a worse strike rate over his entire ODI career and for the last calendar year. Just riddle me that quickly, and then we'll come back to that. Ryan says, if Hinco's ankle holds out, he might be the difference for this Lions back line. Yeah, look, I mean, he's a future star, isn't he? Absolutely world-class in the making here is Henko van Beek. What a carry that was, by the way. Right, now just don't concede any points here. Let's get to the half-time at 14 points to 7. That'll be nice, wouldn't it? On the right-hand side goes Flannery. Hanu Surge with the try scorer. Call is for free kick. Sorry, it's about to say it's an Ulster scrum. Yeah, I think it's I don't know if it's a knock-on or accidental obstruction, which is really, really annoying. An absolute coach killer to score a try and then go and concede a scrum from a mistake off the kickoff. I mean, really, chaps? Why? Off the back, they go to McCluskey and it's been knocked forward. Hanu Surge comes away. There seems a bit of a gap there. Hanu Surge, which does eventually close. Knock-on advantage for the Lions. Ball available there from Morty van den Berg. Pop it up to, I think it's Willem Alberts. Big, strong carry that from him. Now Marius Lowe sees a bit of space back. And Jacob Stockdale's having to go retreat all the way back to zone 22. He's looking to run this. And Richard Creel makes a good tackle. Marius Lowe's there as well. Marius Lowe's almost on the ball. Ball comes loose. And knocked forward. Surely has to be knocked forward. And Mr. Referee, surely there must be a penalty, a knock on something there. Something. Right, there's a penalty for the Lions. Going to go for the corner here. I like the confidence. I like the confidence. Ryan says, you think the Lions are fit enough to hold out Ulster? I hope so. Yeah, I mean, 6-2 split as well. So that'll help that as well. Frankie Horn makes a good take here. Lions on a bit of a run. Moore looking pretty set. And he breaks his PJ Botha into the 22. He goes. Ref, he has to release. He's got his knees on the ground there. Thank you. Right, less than a minute to go in the first half. Lions on the front foot. J-Manuel Struka. One front of Berg goes to Nahamba. He wants the drop goal here. It's a pretty dreadful attempt, it must be said. Not entirely sure it's the right option. We had a bit of momentum there, chaps. Like that idea, but it's a pretty horrible attempt from Nahamba. I mean, he's trying to demonstrate everything, isn't he? He's had a cross kick. He's had a great conversion. Now he's going to try and show that he can also bring in a drop goal. But that was, a poor attempt, to say the least. Right, restart here from Ulster, which means the Lions will have 10 seconds. Decision time as to what they'll do is that they want to try and get back on the front foot or if they're happy to kick it out. Well, Kieran Horn will kick ahead and chase. Flannery takes it, gives it inside. Options here, and I think Ulster will say, no, thank you very much. We're going to take the half-time score. Right, half-time, 14 points to 7. Good work from the Lions. Very, very happy with that, to have a 7-point lead at half-time, scoring 2 tries in the process. We'll be back in a few minutes. Yeah, please don't go away. And if you are new, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash like on the video as well. And I'll see you guys shortly for the second half.
Welcome to another edition of Fan Forum on a Thursday night with Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. As you can see, you got myself at the wheel today with the main men as well. We got Daniel and Rion. How you doing, boys?
Good, thanks.
Yeah,
fantastic. How we doing post World Cup? Are we still on a high? Are we on that inevitable low? How are we feeling? It was a great game. We just spoke about it before we came on. We hadn't spoken, but how are you guys feeling after the World Cup final?
What final? We just lost in the semi-final to Australia.
I was about to say we've just come off.
Yeah, we can actually talk about that. I don't know about that. I know we just for the rugby. We'll talk about that. We can touch on the cricket later, but let's not let the Protea fire dampen our spirits.
Yeah, no. After the Rugby World Cup, it's been great just basking in the glow of 4 times champs, first ones to do it. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been tough to get into the URC. It just feels like this is beneath us now. We've already won rugby, So, but slowly but surely, the come down will finish, and we'll be back into the club game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, getting back into the URC after the World Cup has been a very, very difficult, because also the games just haven't been that great as well. There's been still a lot of stop starting and low scoring, and but yeah, we'll get into it. We'll obviously get into it, but we'll talk about it. We also got Daniel, the Rugby World Cup as well. I know, as you guys know, as I said, we were going to go out against France. 60 minutes into England game, I thought we were going to be out. I honestly thought the All Blacks had the momentum there in the second half, and I was just waiting for Jordan try to send us out. But yeah, what an incredible run and eventual finale, Dan.
Yeah, I've never been more, to be honest, despite them being the same margin, just 3 completely different games, right? Like, I think the French one left me in disbelief. I was shocked after that, just not because I didn't think we could win. It was just that type of game where you were on the edge of your seat the entire match. Then I think I went into that depressive mode for the England game for 78 minutes. And Chris, as we live in the UK, knowing what that would have meant for our social interactions around here was just, voice in the back of my head. And then the New Zealand one was just get the job done. And it was also a blur.
you guys wouldn't have seen me if we lost to Mr. Owen Farrell. I would have been way off the spectrum still. I would still be in recovery mode. So thank God for that from my perspective. But yeah, we'll get into the final a bit later, because obviously there's still murmurings coming out of the final, since what decisions were made and how they were made, and Barnsley straight out of retirement into TV shows and talk shows and giving us his feelings. So we'll touch on that a bit later. But yeah. And obviously Rassi, because he's back, he's still there and in a bigger capacity. So yeah, we'll touch on all that. But yeah, just to recap for us as Boks supporters, of course, I'm still in shock, because everything that France has bitched about, England have bitched about, New Zealand have bitched about, is I ultimately really believe one of those games will be on the other side of that. And I don't know how on earth we've escaped. Or, we had these lack of the draws, couple World Cups, and now we've had the lack of the refs but calls. Basically, I know I hate the word lack, but it's been so opposite. The journeys the last two World Cups have taken. So, but yeah, let's hit on to the URC, and Ron, we're gonna have to throw it out to you. Your boys, your man have finally got it over the line there against Scarlets. I was watching that game. It was actually quite a fun game to watch. They were behind. Yeah, what do you make of it? It was well played to come out there, get that win, well deserved, eh?
As always, South African teams and their scrum, that's what won it for us. We were, I was actually streaming that game, live streaming it, and it just looked like Lions discipline was the issue. We couldn't keep our discipline. We were giving away penalties constantly. We always looked to me like the better side. We just couldn't get our hands on the ball, and we were on the wrong side of the ref the whole night long. But luckily, right at the end, Sanene Nohamba, he's been so good for us in some of these pressure games, just to come up with the plays that are needed. He seems like a nice
in the
little
last year, by the way.
Yeah. Nohamba and Marius Lowe as well, in the centers.
Yeah.
The two of them have just brought, when they're on the park together, you feel like, okay, there's always a chance. And then Quan Horn at fullback. I've been keeping an eye on him recently. That man looks incredible. They were putting up bombs on him all night, and he caught everything. He was never caught alone. He was never turned over. He did some counter-attacking. When he kicked well. So it was close. We were fortunate with a little Steph Evans charge down right at the end. But you make your own luck by charging that thing down, working hard, and having a play and support. So it was very nice to have at least two of the South African teams winning, because I don't know about the other teams. The Italians apparently are very good at rugby now, Chris?
I haven't put that on my list either, so we'll leave that maybe for later. We'll see. But yeah, no. Yeah, it was like you say, Dan. I mean, look, the Lions. We know we have a little back and forth and banter, but the Lions are a great team to watch, and they have got a spirit there. If that was the Sharks, I don't know. I don't think you would have backed the Sharks to come back and have won that game. But the Lions gave it everything. And Nohamba at 10. Yeah, I know. I've also joked slightly. He's a little guy, but he's got a massive heart, and I actually do enjoy him. I enjoy that Lions team, and I was rooting for them to win. So it was good to see from them, right? Hey, Daniel.
Yeah, it feels like there's a bit of fire in them now, which is good, because I think that's what Lions used to provide. They always had heart, and they were exciting to watch, and kind of couldn't really write them off on any day. Obviously gone through a bit of a slump, and I think there's like kind of stardom that's scattered around that team, right? And I feel like there are glimpses of it that you're seeing, and it's just about putting it together, because I think if they can keep fit with the right players on the park, they can be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, like Henko van Beek gets a lot of...
I wanted to bring him up. You brought him up. I love him. Yeah.
What a guy. Just when he touches the ball, it's like one of those, you just can't wait for him to see it. But yeah, I'm promising, I mean, to get any South African team getting a win away, and as we've seen this last weekend, doesn't matter who the opposition is a good result. So fair play to them for being a part of that group. Yeah,
and actually, now while we stay on the Lions, I'll bring it back to you. I've always said, like, I love the way the Lions play. They play a brand of rugby that will win their matches, but there's still maybe 2 or 3 really quality players short for me of maybe going all the way. You agree with that, Rion? And can the Lions is it still just going to be bringing through the youngsters and trying to keep them, or you being closer maybe to the union? Obviously I am. Do you think? Acquisitions aren't the strategy, right?
Yeah, no, I think they really are a team that we keep the cost of salaries as low as we can and try and build a team, just try and keep a group of players together. Our main thing has always been in recent years is not the front row. The front row has always been good, except at hooker. Since Marks has left, we've really struggled at hooker. I'm sure you've seen the stats as well. Our best hooker is like one of the worst line-out throwers in the competition, PJ Buerta. He can carry well. He's a good defender, but if you try and get him to throw anywhere except the front jumper, he's almost at a 30% throwing rate. So our line-outs are a big issue. Yeah, you're not going to launch a lot of attacks with that. And then I've always felt
territory with that type. You're not going to be. It just means you can't go for territory.
Yeah, if you kick it out, you have a 50% chance of not getting your ball back, which was what was happening on what is it, Saturday night. We lost so many lineouts again because we couldn't just hit our jumpers. And then our defense it's changing. It seems like on the weekend we were hitting hard and we were double tackling, but last year we were the team that gave up the most meters post contact. Like if we were in defense and a team hit our defenders, we were giving up meters more than any other team in the competition. And you're just not going to, if that's the momentum thing in rugby. If you don't stop someone on the gain line, you're going to struggle every day. So those for me are the two big things. We need to sort out our line out throws and we need to stop teams on the gain line. And that's the gain line stopping was what we were doing against the Scarlets, but we just couldn't capitalize on our lineouts. So for me, those are the two main things. The players are there. You've seen them. Ruan Venter, he looks great. Willem Albert.
I love Ruan Venter. Also, as a friend, we saw he's the standout. Him and for me and Henko,
Kabakanye, the massive prop. He goes for ages.
He's some athlete. That guy.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll become a Bok?
10 kilos less of him would, I think.
Yeah, I think he does need to work. He can also eat his cakes with ox, but I think he does need to get a little bit more athletic there. But he's a great character, I like a guy you want to have on the field, right? And just a quick one, Rian. I'm a big Morne van den Berg fan. So what happens is, now Hamburg going to be the answer at 10? Does that how do you see it? Do you think he'll go back to 9? What do you feel will happen there?
The Lions have been playing a 6-2 split. So I think they've been using Nohamba's versatility so that they can only have 2 guys on the bench. So Jordan Hendricks has been riding the pine. I think he plays maybe as a fullback 10 as well. So
I was convinced he went to the Sharks. Or did I misread something?
I thought so as well, but that never happened.
I swear I saw that somewhere that he went to the Sharks. And then so it didn't happen, right?
It was talking.
Yeah, there was rumors, but he's still there. So I hope that's not a sign that he's maybe not staying for past this season. But I think maybe on the away tour they decided, okay, let's keep him from starting too much. The Lions didn't start the season well, so they were probably like, no, we need a change. Keep him on the bench. We'll bring him on late in the game, and they're running a 6-2 bench. So Nohamba being versatile, he can go to 9 and Jordan can come on. Or Nohamba can go off and Van den Berg can stay on. And I think they want Van den Berg there just to keep the game fast. He's a bit quicker to the rack.
He's got a wicked pass. I love his pass.
Yeah.
He can also be erratic. I mean, I've seen him do, but I really enjoy him at 9. But no, he's so good.
Yeah. So I think it's mostly to accommodate the 6-2 bench that they have those two guys on the field. Yeah, so that we can bring, because we have our bench this weekend looked very good. We had a good front row coming on. We had Venter coming on. We had Alberts coming on. JC Pretorius, the X7s guy, he's being used now as well. So I think that's what they've been doing. They've been using the pack more. We just need to learn to tackle and stop guys on the gain line.
Yeah. Also, to say welcome to everyone on the chats. Unfortunately, guys, my equipment today is not allowing me to see the comments or anything at the moment. But yeah, guys, if you're there, welcome. Obviously, you're part of the show as well. Give us
Right, we're back underway for the second half, and an early mistake really there. Not a great kick from Sinamba, so not a great clearance, allowing Ulster to get right back onto the front foot here in the second half. At the score at half time, 7 points to 14 in favour of the Lions, so they do lead, which is a very important start for them to have this lead. The question is, how can they they hang on? How do they really sort of get to the end and get this result? And the answer is to keep playing. You know, to not try and protect your league. And they've got to be confident. They've got to take be attacking, try and take the tries when they're on offer. Go for it. I think throw a bit of caution to the wind. It is a 6-2 split, so we're bringing on 6 forwards later. I think the forwards have fronted up very nicely so far. This is a good example of that. The Maul has just completely stopped Jeff Ulster. There's the call for one. Surely going to have to use this now. Yeah, Nathan Doak. It's going left, it's going right. Mr. Ref, surely the call has to come to use it. And Rob Herring goes himself. And he lands just in front of Manuel Truco. He's trying to get his hands on the ball. We went Fenton into the park, by the way. That's an early substitution from the Lions. Trying to work out who he's replaced. I'd imagine Willem. I don't know, Willem Alberts is still there. Hanu Sergio's still there, as well as Manuel Truco. I don't see Franco Horn, which must be an injury if it is the case. And try for Ulster first half. How easy is that? How pathetic is that? I mean, like 2-3 phases, they spread it wide, and he skips ahead. And all the good work has been undone in the first blooming minute of the half. Bit worrying that Franco Horn hasn't come back onto the park, by the way. He's such an important player for the Lions. Interesting to see now. So yeah, I assume Mangus Tuka will go to number 8. Ruan Fenter coming on. Ah, no, that's frustrating. That's really, really frustrating. Right, Nathan Doak, right up against the touchline. It'd be really nice if you missed this and the Lions need to hit back here. But it's just so, I mean, I always say it's so important to start the second half strongly. You know, I mean, now, for example, the Lions really back on the back foot here. Nathan Doak has nailed that. He's absolutely nailed that. Straight down the middle, and the points are level after 43 minutes. 14 points apiece. Good start the second half for Ulster. Terrible start for Lions. Just got that completely wrong defensively. Yeah, it's an overlap there. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's a great conversion though, must say. Seen 2 very good conversions from the touchline. Yeah, I'm very interested to see when we get to the scrum. He's going to pack up an 8th man. I assume it's going to be Manuel Tuka. Franco Horn, ironically, probably been one of the 2 forwards who would have played a forward. No, I'm not sure. That's not gone well from Van Dijk as well. Gone through the hands there. And that's knocked off. That's surely offside. Marius, so thinking about taking quickly. Just chill, Marius. Just going to go to the corner here, boy. We're going to go to the rolling more here. Not going to take the points. We're going to go to the corner. No, we're going to take the points. Not sure that's the right call, to be perfectly honest. Right, it's a penalty here for the Lions. They're taking the points here as Nahamba. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I agree with this. You know, I just think I think that Ulster have got more tries than them. You know, so my gut says you go to the corner here and you try to get an early try, you hit back, you can't stop the momentum. Conditions are tricky. And he struck it well, yeah, as Nahamba. Straight down the middle. So he does add 3 extra points. So he reestablishes that lead, I suppose, is the one way of looking at it. Right, replacement now for Ulster as Marty Moore comes on. Good take from the kickoff there. And terrible cleaning out and a penalty for Ulster. I mean, F's sake, so it's nothing to take the points and level up. It's been so bad at the clearing out. Yeah, Ruan Feta has to do better here. Has to do better there, removing him. Now they'll go for the corner here, and if they score here, then guess what? They're well ahead. And this is what I say. I'd really would like to have seen us take go for the try. Go for the corner. You got to be confident here. I think Ulster will score again. That my gut says they score again. And so yeah, I'm not saying that you should be turning down a guarantee 3, but I just feel from a momentum perspective, I felt our pack is starting to dominate a little bit. It's gone very far left as the Ulster maul. Now they're trying to straighten and they're gaining a bit of momentum here, Ulster. Now it's going back. The call is to use it. Now it's going a bit lateral. Rob Herring right at the back there. Rob Herring is over. You see. Congratulations. Well done, guys. The good news is we took the 3 points. Well done, chaps. 3 points. Can't clear a man. Concede a penalty. Go to the corner. They concede a try. And they're ahead. It was telegraphed. Telegraphed. So annoying. Shouldn't have taken the point. Should have gone to the corner. Also score you're behind love 40. Well, you know that you're going to be behind where I am because there'll be a delay from YouTube, to be fair. So even by the time you're adding that, I'm already seeing what's going on here. You'll be like however many seconds behind me when what you're watching me. But thanks, 40. Love your work, dude. Love your work. Right, Ulster 21 points to 17. It's the first time they've taken the lead this game. Kieran Horn goes down the left-hand side. In front of him is chasing strong. Yeah, good chase from him. Ruan Fenta trying to get his hands on the ball. Ball's out. Pressure on Nathan Doak. It's a very good kick. Much better kick from him. Lions back to just past the 10-meter line. Right, time to restart you, lads. Frankie Horn was using lost the line option as well in the first half, so we've lost that with him going off. So I expect Ruben Skuman to do a lot of line work in this half. Ruan Fenta there is also a line option. Willem Alberts at the front of the line out. They go to Willem Alberts. Good line out for him. And they've tripped over players lying at the bottom of the... Surely, no, come on. You thought about giving the penalty as well. PJ Buerta around the corner there. Slightly isolated as PJ Buerta. One in front of Burgos and the Humber. Ulster pretty quickly. One in front of Burgos back to the left-hand side. PJ Buerta who pops it up to in front of Merva. Show and go there from Marius Lowe. He's then lost it forward. Cheers, Marius. Take the ball, guys. Protect the ball. Still feel it should have been a penalty. I mean, we had David McCann. He's just lying at the bottom of the maul, not moving at all, and everybody trips over him. Ball over the top's allowed to bounce, and it falls back to the Lions, and Sanena Humber's kick goes off to the right of his boot. And it's popped up, and the ball's come a bit loose here. McCloskey had a bit of pressure there. Hinkov and Vase got hands on the ball there. Eventually also do come back to take a big counter coming. Ball pops up. Good disruption at the rack there from the Lions. Eventually it is secured Jeff for Ulster. Nathan Doak bringing it to the back of a pretty long caterpillar. The back of the rack there goes to the boot. I think that'll be carried back, so he can't go into touch. He goes down the throat of Kieran Horn. Right, what does Kieran Horn have up his sleeve? He's seeing a bit of space. Brings in Richard Creel. Richard Creel comes on the inside. Moore Vandenberg going to Asanate Kanye, the GOAT. Now Nahamba fires it out to Ruan Fenta. Ruan Fenta's first carry. And he's lost the ball. Guys, we just don't want to retain the possession here. PJ Butcher's all over that ball. Is he not? No, he's not. Crothers now. Kanye comes up, makes the tackle, trying to rip the ball in the tackle. He does rip the ball in the tackle, in fact. Brilliant work there. And eventually it is back on the line side. Tuka goes to Ruan Fenter. Ruan Fenter is going to carry up. Working hard in the tackle is the number 20. Not too many options here. Vandenberg just pops that for Willem Alberts. Takes the hit on the shoulder. Solid work there from the number 4, the veteran. 4 for 40 soon for him. Not too many options here. Morty Vandenberg is going to go to the boot. And it's gone absolutely nowhere. Takes a bounce off an Ulster player. Falls back to Rob Herring. He then loses it backwards. And the ball comes loose to Morty Vandenberg. He's put it onto the boot. Comes back inside. Flannery. Heck of a break with diving tackle. Morty Vandenberg takes him out. Marius Lowe's trying to get his hands on the ball. This is messy. Nathan Doak just goes to the left boot to find some sort of clearance. And it's a fantastic clearance, it must be said, by Nathan Doak. Really, really good work from him. Let's come off on his left boot as well, which is not his favourite boot. Yeah, I think if the back makes tackle could be interesting. Good follow up there from Morty Vandenberg, and then Marius Lowe's not able to get his hands on the ball. It's a great clearance though from Nathan Doak. Such a talented player. Thought about taking quickly the Kieran Horn, decided against it. And that will be Nathan Doak's final involvement. John Currie comes onto the park. Right, interesting to see when the Lions unload their bomb squad. That is Jacob Saki, John Pierre Smith, Ruan Dalport, Jace Pretorius, and Ruan Fenter. So it says that Jace Pretorius is on because they got the numbering wrong. Jace Pretorius is in the 21. That is definitely Ruan Fenter who's in the 20. Unless Jace Pretorius has been on some serious anabolics and put on about 40 kgs and gained a scrum cap. These Ulster coaches have not sat down. I don't even think they've got chairs in their box. It's very weird. Richard Currie is going to have a bit of a blood bin here. He's got a bad nose, so he's going to go off, and that'll see Rubs McLaren come on. Pace on pace from Rubs. Wasn't really ready to come on here, was Russ McLaren, the number 23. Looks like he's bugged up a bit. Good line take. Ball here from Lions, not getting too much go forward ball. Now it's trying to spin towards the right-hand side. Willem Albert's working hard in the middle. Making a yard or two here, the Lions. Starting to break apart though, so I think Morty Vandenberg would be probably better off using this. It's come down, the ball is available. Backwards is a call, and then that's not 4. You see the basics now just losing it. And come on, man. Just lost the focus here. Basic areas not keeping in. Right, I want to see Raz McLaren with space to run. Scrum on the halfway line, yep. And it's Hanu Sergio, by the way. He's packed out number 8. I wouldn't have expected that, to be honest. As I said, I'm pretty sure the expectation was that Frankie Hall would have played the full 80. So it's a bit worrying that he's gone off. Much better scrum that from Ulster. First scrum penalty, which I think is incredibly harsh given how the Lions dominated Ulster throughout that first half and didn't get a single reward from it. Now one shove and Ulster get a penalty for it. I think that's a bit frustrating if I'm a Lions fan, I must admit. And I am a Lions fan, which is why it's frustrating. Doesn't actually even lose his bind first as corner free. It's actually the tight head that loses his bind first. So it's actually Marty Moore whose elbow drops and he loses his bind first. Right, also looking at the points here. They've gone to the 22. Really good time here for a line of steel here, lads. Uncontested. And not straight. Come on! There we go. Rob Perry struggled a little bit with the weight, I think. Right. I'll close the poll, should I? 143 votes, and everybody reckons the Lions are going to win. So I'm going to start a new poll, which says, when will Henko van Wyk make his Springbok debut? 2024, 2025, 2026. And 2027 as well, why not? He's going to have 4 years. When will he make a Springbok debut? It will happen. It's no doubt for me. If he plays and he stays fit for another 2 seasons, he plays Springboks. For me, it's a win, not if situation. He's too good not to. That's another big scrum there from the Lions. It's gone up. It's going to be a reset. Not that outside centers are currently old. I mean, you got Jesse Kriel, I think, is 29. And Lakanya who's 30. Also 29. So they're at the same age. Lakanya is 29 turns 30 this month, whereas Jesse Kriel has turned 29, but he turns 30 in February. So not much of a difference there. Right, another scrum, yeah. Lions searching for a penalty, I reckon. Pretty solid. Ball's going to be used. Vandenberg goes to us, but Klein on the right hand side, who slips as he makes his kick. So it comes in field. Right, Stuart Moore, what's he going to do? Looks to run, yeah. Brought down well. Past him in line, though, else to go with front foot ball. So tackle that came from Klabakanye. And ball lost forward. Senator Humber doesn't go. No, so he throws it back to Currie. Currie sees a bit of space. Kicks it down the middle of the park. Buys a bit of time. Right, Moore, what time does he go on the right-hand side? Down the throat of Currie. Currie returns the favour, keeping it nice and low. Back to Stuart Moore. This time he lifts it high in the air for a couple of chases. Nobody really seems to want it for the Lions. It's gone through the hands of Flannery and then knocked forward from Cooney. So I think it'll be a Lions scrum. I can double knock on there. Right, here comes some subs. Yakovasaki. Now that, my friends, is a good massage. Right, JP Smith and Yakovasaki onto the park. Yeah, good on you. Good on you. As November efforts go, Yakovasaki, I think, is winning so far. Alright, so it's gone, yeah. JB Smith on. I like JB Smith. Very nice skill set about the loose head. Very good in the loose. And the scrummaging is coming in leaps and bounds. A bit of a journeyman, him and his brother. And a free kick for the Lions at the scrum. I'll tell you what, I almost pretend to have another one. Decent scrum there, and Kuhnhorn goes down the floor route there. He hammers in the grabber in behind. Moore's charged down. Bit of pressure there. Isolated as James Hume. Ulster all the way back. That could have been pretty big problem for them if that had gone the wrong way. Good intensity that from the Lions. That's just come off the right of his boots on Currie. He's not though. In fact, it's a fantastic clearance. Thought initially it slightly off, but it's a really good clearance from the scrum off. He had so much time to Moore, and it's great covering. And yeah, I think it's Marius Lowe just throws himself at it. And I'll tell you what, there's 2 Lions players to the left. If it forced either one of them with a supporting player, would have been try time. Oh, great! And there's a penalty early on. That's good, Oaks. That's free kick rather from the line out. Kuhnhorn must carry himself. Almost a bit high there on him. More in front of Berg, goes to Snenderhammer. Snenderhammer goes to the boot, lifts it high in the air. Hinkelman, Vaker, nice McConnell are chasing. It's well taken by, I think it's Moore. And a bit of pressure there. Big counterattack coming from the Lions. Currie managed to use it, goes to Flannery. Good hit coming. And that's a brilliant penalty. Who is that? Ruben Skuman, take a bow. That's a fantastic penalty one on the ground. Really, really good work from the number 5 lock. It's the November crew, yeah, boys. It's the November crew. Oh, that's great. So we bought a bottle of water and yeah, that's frozen solid. Yeah, properly frozen solid. That interesting. Well, taking the points here, the Lions. Not entirely convinced by that one either. It's going to have the distance yet. Isn't going to have the distance yet. Missed. Just go. Be confident here, lads. Be confident. We've actually got a bit of the momentum here. Go to the corner and try to score the tries here, lads. I don't see us kicking our way to victory. Right, here comes Billy Burns onto the park. So line out and Marius Lowe. Just protect the ball. Yeah, that's a nice solid carry. That's a bit more what we need from Marius Lowe. And he didn't drop the ball either. Vandenberg being slowed down there. Ulster plays up very quickly. Just watch the little sideline a bit. Namba popping up to Richard Creel's back into the park. Goes to Henk van Wyk. Now back down the right-hand side to Ruben Skuman. Namba going to run Fenter is lined up. Not too many options. When Namba goes to the boot. Pops up just ahead of Stuart Moore, who fires out a pretty good clearance. That'll be by the halfway line. So very interesting territory battle currently happening between the two teams. And Sullivan on for Warwick. So a couple of big names coming on here for Ulster. And the ball's come loose with the back of the line out there. Morning van den Berg's dived on it very, very well. 17 minutes left in the match, by the way. It's sort of quite quickly sort of crept up on us at the end of this match. And interesting to see. I think the Lions will probably deploy a lot with their bench now. And Clavicania probably has another 5 minutes in it, maybe. And then I think we'll see the other Smith coming on. Richard Creel giving chase there. It's right up against the touchline. And Stockdale, I think, has dropped that into touch. So it'll be a Lions line out just outside 22. Okay, a bit further outside the 22 than initially thought. Just past 10 meter, really. And that's dreadful. Ball over the top, goes straight to Rob Herring, and no one even jumps. I mean, Christ Oaks. What is that? Right, under the high ball, yes, Q and Horn takes it very, very well. Good chase there from Jacob Stockdale. One from them going to Harney Sergil. Jeepers, that's a man coming flying into the ruck. Morning van den Berg going to the boot. Richard Creel giving chase, and that's going to go into touch. Mistake after mistake after mistake. So I said, shouldn't have taken those points. We missed 3, we took 3. And now the mistakes are creeping in. The entire match is sort of, the tide is starting to turn. Been really sloppy in the last 10 minutes. Right up against the touchline goes the Moore. Rob Herring breaks with the back of it. Good momentum this here from Ulster. Oh, I tell you what, Mr. Ref, that's not hardly taking them past the ruck. And penalty straight over. That's going to be 3 points. And Ulster will take a 7-point lead. Throwing it away here. Completely throwing it away. Dreadful. Dreadful the last 5 minutes. Absolutely dreadful. Yeah, taking his time. He gets kicking tee. 3-point Jeff and Munster with a 4-point lead. We'll take it to 7 points. Converted try now will only level the scores. Very interesting man to follow on Twitter is John Currie. He has a lot of kicking tips, goes through a lot about his practice routines, for example, what it's like to kick the goal. Very, very cool insight from him, actually. And he makes no mistake, right? Ulster go up 24 points to 17. The converted try will just get Lions level with 13 minutes to go. Surely now the Lions roll the dice here. Surely now we see JC Pretorius, Ruan Dalport, Ruan Smith. Jordan Hendricks as well could use that big boot of his. And roll the dice here. 12 minutes to go. 7 points is the advantage. Yep, as I said, Jordan Hendricks on for Morning Fun and Bergs. So then Humble will move back to scrum off. Currie going to the booth there. Good first touch there for Jordan Hendricks up onto the park. JP Smith, nice carry from him. Couple of carries here. Slow ball now for Snare It pops up to Asnat and Klabakanye. He takes the hit and goes down. Presents it well for Snare Nahamba. He's going to go to the boot chair. Put this in the air, make it competitive. Right, Ed van der Merwe is chasing, as is Mario Slow. Just outside 22. Stuart Moore underneath it. Mario Slow missing it. Currie down the left-hand side now. Ulster with the ball just outside the 22. Currie now will go to the boot himself. Hendricks underneath it once again. Fumbles it, but Ed van der Merwe is there to clean up. Ed van der Merwe goes to himself. Fighting hard in the tackle. Quick ball from the Hammer. Bit of a juggle there from JP Smith. Back to Henderson in the pocket. Henderson's kick is charged down. Kieran Horn comes across to try and clean up. Very, very good work from the fly half, and from the fullback rather. And yeah, thank you. Hands will be on the ball. Same thing. Penalty here for the Lions. Just say Hinko looks like he's had a good off-season bulking program. Yeah, I think I suppose, you know, on the couch, bit of eating, for example, getting a bit bigger, bit top heavy. He's got Jacques Free as his mentor, so I reckon he's been doing chest day with Jacques a lot. Still no JC Pretorius. I mean, for me, last 10 minutes, a poacher, a fetcher, surely you want that on. Why wouldn't you want that on? Very weird decision dealing in all. Sheridan comes on for O'Connor. For Ulster. Right, Lions on the 22, and they've lost the line out. Absolutely pathetic, to be honest. I don't understand how the Lions can be so bad. We've lost at least 4 tonight. Same issue as last season. Whenever it comes to an important line out, and you lose it. I'll take it from Kieran Horn. Ball comes loose. But what about the high tackle? He's always got players around his neck. But honestly, you don't deserve to win a game if you're going to have a lineup like that. It's absolutely pathetic how bad the Lions lineup is. Whenever it counts, whenever it's a big moment, an attacking line or a defensive line out in an awkward position, bang, we lose it. You have a reset, yeah. 8 minutes to go. And Lions could have won this game. It's been very frustrating. Still quite confused to why Jace Victoria is not in the park. Surely you want something. Surely you want a fetch on. Someone with a bit of energy. Both Smiths are on. I don't know if Ruan Dalport's on. And unless Jace Victoria is carrying an injury or something, I'm not quite sure why you wouldn't bring him on. Big scrum there from the Lions. Penalty for Ulster. I don't understand it. Do not understand it. Alright, 7 minutes to go, and bar a intercept try. I don't see us really getting back to the game yet. We're running more on the run, yeah. Big thing for me now is just get a bonus point try it. I mean, a bonus point. Losing bonus point will be big, yeah. Kicks in behind, and Hendricks has pushed that out, thankfully. I think it's going to be a goal line dropout. Right, waiting for a decision yet. See if it's going to go on drop out of 5 minute scrum, what the chat is. Okay, black by black. I think this could be a 5 minute scrum here, you know. Find me a scrum. Big scrum this time for Ulster. Penalty advantage. Ball's loose there. Ball has gone loose. And a penalty. Come pretty one way, yeah, the scrums, haven't they? And I think this game is just slowly fading away. How have we managed to do this? All that momentum that we didn't use earlier on. Tap and go here. Wouldn't surprise me because Rob Herring's lines has not been great. They almost over the line here, Ulster. The question is it held up? Was it available? For me, that's held up. Ball's now popped backwards. Yeah, thank you, penalty. Thank you very much. Penalty for the Lions, yeah. Dare to dream, lads. 4 minutes to go. Right, here comes Ruan Delport. I mean, what a token gesture, 4 minutes, really. I'm impressed that Willem Alberts is getting through 76 minutes, by the way. I mean, cheapers. I've never seen a knee so heavily strapped as Willem Alberts. And it's a bit of a fumble. It eventually comes away. Jason Pretorius onto the park as well. The next Quagga Smith is what a lot of people are hoping. Number listed high in the air. Richard Creel chasing hard. Richard Creel take it. Good work there from the wing. Right, Lions see something special. Need a couple of penalties is what we need. Still inside our own half though. Work to be done. Back by White as the call. No, I think it's a call's come from the side. Penalty for holding on. Now this is interesting because this is in a much better position. Yeah, holding on is the call. I think it's Ruben Skuman has won that again, by the way. What a goat. Right, to the corner we go. Dare to dream, lads. Dare to dream. Yeah, there's Ruben Skuman all over there like a rash. It's the second turnover. I mean, you don't expect it from such a tall character. Anyway, on the 22 here, the Lions go. First things first, got to try and win this line out. Jakub Asaki, no time to be making mistakes here. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, he's almost played them, has he? Ruan Dalpool with a good take there. Ball available. Yeah, it has to release this, yeah, Mr. Ref. No, now he's coming in and taking him out. Piardi, get a grip of what's going on here. Thank you. Ball eventually comes out. Goes to Ruan Fenter. Now, Ruan Smith this time. Solid carry from him. I tell you what, they're very quickly. I'm not sure Sullivan was onside there. Marius low on the angle. Working hard. Now Hinkov and Vake. Getting away from one. Brought down. Ah! Lost the ball forward. Now 30 seconds left. They'll just run the clock down. That'll be the game. Barring a miracle penalty in the last 20 seconds, that should be the game, yeah. One more phase and Ulster should have it. Currie, you have to take it. He has to take it. Available. There it is. What a waste. What a waste. Could have won that. Should have won that even, maybe. Yeah, look, I think probably... I could have gone either way, to be honest. Frustrating that I don't think we should have been braver. Final score is 24 points to 17. Lions do finish within 7 points, so we'll get a losing bonus point. It's a good performance from the Lions, and they're looking better this season, but you've got to start finding results. You know, you can't just keep being close. You know, you've got to start finding results. So frustrating. Right, they've got 2 much easier games coming up, so hopefully we can get their season back on track with the 2 wins coming up. People, thank you very much for joining me. We will see you guys tomorrow for back-to-back Watchalong Stormers and the Sharks in action. And yeah, enjoy your Friday